お待たせいたしました。続いてのタイトルは、クラシックゼルダトリロジー、となっております。こちらは、現在解説の方がいらっしゃいませんので、解説ができますよ。初期のゼルダがわかりますよという方なんかがいらっしゃいましたら、応募していただけると嬉しいです。ちょっと、声出しでやるのはなという方もいらっしゃるかと思いますが、そういう方はチャット欄の方でコメントいただけると嬉しいです。クラシックゼルダトリロジー。クラシック。ゼルダの伝説自体は最新作がつい先日に出たばかりですけれど、そういう中の歴史の中で最初の方の作品を今回は3つ走られるのかな。ゼルダの伝説、リンクの冒険、神々のトライフォースだったかなと思います。1作品でもわかりますよという方がいらっしゃったら、ぜひにね、力をお貸しいただけると嬉しいです。とはいえ、トリロジーっていうんで3問ありますね。3問あると、予定の時間、EST も3時間30分と、結構な長丁場。先ほどの時岡が EST4 時間15分だったので、なんか、そうでもない気がするってなりますけど、全然長丁場なので、皆さんも休み見たりしていただけると良いかなと思いますね。いずれにしても、私はゼルダの伝説、全くかなり存じ上げない、やったことがないタイトルなので、皆さんの力を見てそれをいただきたいと思っております。 面が来ました。
Pleasure and a privilege to be back on the mic once again. This is the Agent Zero. You can call me Zero. I am here with iceblue for this classic Zelda Trilogy run. We are supporting, as ever, Take This, who seeks to offer perspective and hope to anyone who feels overwhelmed with their mental health issues so they do not suffer in silence. Now, let me have a heart-to-heart with you, Chad. And by a heart-to-heart, I mean like a heart to 3 hearts. Because I've been looking at this 3-heart challenge run floating for Link's Awakening, the run coming right after this trilogy's coming up. And I've been wanting to see that for a hot minute, but, you know, I can only do so much for you. At a certain point, you know, we got $240 to pick up for Take This to make that $250 that we need for that incentive. You know you want it. You know I want it. We all want it. So if you have a few spare dollars to kick into that, get it in there. Let's get that 3 hearts. Because 3 hearts on the last boss is going to be a good time. And while you're at it, you can get entered to win the prizes for Wednesday. That Hylian Shield pair of hand warmers by Darth Plagueis, the Stray God Steam Code from Margie, and at the same time, we're going to be helping a great cause, and that's what we're all here to do. So I think with all of that, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to iceblue. iceblue, take it away.
Oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, sorry, I was jamming. Hello, hi. My name's iceblue, and I am pretty much a Zelda speedrunner. I do speedrun a couple other games, but those aren't important right now. But yeah, this is the classic trilogy. So what this consists of, it consists of the original Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, and then Link to the Past. And what we do here is we do a single segment run of all 3 of the games back to back, and no resets, of course. So I just got to deal with whatever RNG is thrown at me throughout the entire 3.5 hours or so and some change. But yeah, I am going to be pretty much here with V-Agent, or Zero, if you'd like to be called that. And
Still call me late
Zero... sorry, I'm already late for dinner.
いいっすね。最後に説明書を読んでねって書いてあるの。今はもうデジタル説明書がゲーム内にある時代ですからね。紙じゃないから。
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'll try and explain things as I go. There's only a couple spots that I really need like mega focus for, and that's probably level 9 here. Other than that, this is a pretty lax run.
本当に簡単な操作説明なの。紙でもついてることはパッケージ版ならありますけど、今見てる、私たちが今見ているゼルダの伝説とは逆の状況って感じですね。
But I'm going to reset the console just so it refreshes the RNG, because the RNG has been running for the last 30 minutes on the title screen. And I don't know where it's going to be. So time is going to start when I gain control of Link here. So I'm going to count down even from like when I press start on the file select screen here. So 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. I'm going to ask a question at the top here. You say any percent no
はい、
Up+A.
グッドラックです。
So Up+A is what you can do on the second controller to simulate a death. So what that does is that brings you immediately to the continue, save, retry screen. And it brings you back to your, like, either to the front of a dungeon or to the wood sword screen there. So this category is essentially deathless. We just like fancier names like any percent no Up+A. So immediately right off the gate, you notice me just kind of like walking through the screens. Those are screen scrolls. They are frame perfect. And you have to be a certain amount of pixels away from the edge of the screen.
なんか、まあ早速悪いことはしてそうな雰囲気ですが。
What frame rate does this run at?
This runs at 60 or 59.7, I think.
ゼルダの伝説は、皆さんご存知、任天堂から発売されたゲームソフトとなっております。まあ、ゼルダの伝説シリーズの一作目に当たります。日本では1986年2月21日、 にファミリーコンピューターのディスクシ
Alright,
ステ
so
ム
the
用
hardest
と
part of
し
the
て売ら
hardest
れ
part
ま
of
し
the
たけど、
speedrun is over with.
日本
Getting out of
国
level 3
外
is like
の
the
ディスク
biggest
システ
reset
ムが
point
発
in this
売され
game.
なかった地域で
Um,
は、普
so
通
getting
に
those
動画
first
設
like
置と
bomb
して
drops. So
販売され
there's
たよ
there's
う
a
みたい
global
ですね。
counter table and a consecutive counter table in this game. Global counter table is constantly running between 0 and 10. Consecutive just counts up how
今
many
回
times you kill
私た
stuff
ちが見るの
without
は、
taking
クラ
damage.
シックゼルダトリロジ
And
ー、
so if you
初
ever
期三
played
部
this game
作
and
な
you
んで
saw
す
the
けれども、
10th enemy has the bomb,
その中で、
that's
ゼル
referring
ダ
to
の
the
伝説
consecutive counter. So if
は
you kill 9 enemies with a sword or any other
2%
object, and then you bomb kill the 10th enemy, as
プ
long as it has a
プラ
drop
ス
on
A
the table,
と
it
いう
will drop a bomb. You
カ
just
テゴ
cannot
リーにな
take
っており
damage
ま
in the
すね。
middle of that.
Does it kick you back to 0?
It does. Consecutive will kick you back to 0.
Man, one of the things I always loved about these old games is just how much you think is random that's really not.
It's kind of random. So the global table, your first kill, it's first, I think 5th or in 7th, or it's either first 6th and 8th or first 5th and 7th. Certain enemies will have a 41% chance of dropping a bomb. Which is why I, refrain from trying to kill anything before heading into level 3. Because that first dark nut that I killed does have a 41% chance of dropping a bomb.
And I'm guessing if your drops stack, then you only get the 1?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking for a 10 count here, so that, I might not get it just because Manhandla did drop a 5 rupee. So my count might be a little off here, so we'll see. We're looking for a bomb here, though. And we got it.
Yeah, we were talking in the green room before the run started, about, being a Zelda speedrunner means definitionally that you cannot do math.
Yep. I can count to 10. It's about the length of my knowledge, though.
You know what? That's good enough. Look, you could be Valve, right? You can only count to 2. You got me on the mic, man. I'm gonna make terrible jokes, and you're just going to have to live with it.
Look, I am a father myself, so like it is like in my blood to make dad jokes. So I completely understand.
All right, chat. If you need a little bit of inspiration, you want to pitch in $5 train with your best dad joke.
Oh yes, please do. All right, so we're picking up rupees here. This run does require me to have at least 40 rupees, because we only pick up 1 secret in this run, and it's 100 secret. I might try for the Gliok bomb here.
Is is this money routing, or is this one of those things about, like, because one of the few things I remember about Zelda 1 was that you used rupees as ammo for your bow.
You do. No, we pick up 140 rupees, so we can buy the bait and the arrows from a shop. Over time, we do need to have at least 2 extra rupees so we can, shoot Goma and to take down Ganon with a silver arrow as well. But other than that, yeah, money is not super tight. There are backup 30 secrets, so you don't have to really worry too much about like money routing in this. It just loses time. Alright, so we're gonna be doing a little small, like, one of the first glitches ever discovered in The Legend of Zelda. This is called the... Oh, nice. This is called the Pirouette glitch. And what this does is you can enter this dungeon. There's a locked door in the front, but we're gonna exit the dungeon first, and then re-enter level 1. And what that's gonna do is that's just gonna completely remove the locked door. So it saves us a key over the run. And it maintains our spawns, because each time you change like screens, your spawns change.
Interesting. Like, are we talking like what enemies spawn where?
Yeah, so like the location of all the enemy spawns gets
ス
changed.
ピードラン .com を見てきた感じだと、だいたいこのサイトは 30
There's like
分
values
ちょ
in
い
the
とか
system itself.
で
But
終わ
other
る
than
ん
that,
じゃ
like I
ない
don't
か
know
な
like
と
the full
思わ
logistics
れま
behind
す。
it. But there's just values of like where enemies spawn and they're set. And each time you enter the screen, like the RNG value goes up X amount, and that's what determines where the enemies spawn.
For all intents, it sounds like it's kind of a seed, right?
Kinda, yeah. Alright, so bomb count is a little concerning, but we're not worried because level 2 does have a ton of bomb drops. As long as I have one bomb leaving this dungeon to grab the heart container on our way to level 2. Rupee count is incredibly nice. Typically, you want to have 20 rupees leaving level 1. Level 2 does have a lot of the bomb dropping groups. So you have like the ropes, the little snakes. Those are like heavy on the rupee dropping table, and there's like 4 different rooms of them.
I've got a couple donations here for you if you're ready for them.
Yeah, sure.
I have $5 from awu_inu. Don't forget to take attack 9.
Oh god. Not taking attack 9 Awu.
I'm gonna assume you know more about that one than I do.
That is for Zelda 2, yeah.
Oh yeah, from the XP chart.
Yep.
And then I have true to form. We have a dad joke. Thanks Firebird Lover for the $5 to take this. Putting it toward the 3-heart challenge makes my heart happy. Okay, just this one. If April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring? Pilgrims.
Alright, so we're gonna have to make a small little detour in level 2. Thank y'all for the donations, by the way. I appreciate it. Please, if you're able to, make donations towards this cause. We're gonna make a little detour in level 2. Normally in a run, you would skip this orange Gorilla room coming up, but we're gonna take out one of them, which is called the Master Gorilla. And we're hoping for a bomb drop there. If not, we do have a bomb drop at the end of the dungeon for Dodongo, because we do need bombs for that boss.
Is there any way to kill him other than feeding him bombs?
Nope. You have to give him a bomb. Alright, so this room coming up here, we're gonna kill this top right one. That is the Master Gorilla.
私がこのタイトルを全然知らないのもあって、なんか悪いことしてるのがどうかがわかんないんですよね。なんか予備動作とかも特になく悪いことをするから、そういう人なのかなって思いますね。悪いことをしてるはずなんだけどな、エニーバーだし。
Grab that just to have beams for this room.
Bottles aren't a thing in this one, right? That's just basically just a fast stack of hearts.
Yeah, bottles weren't introduced until Link's Awakening, I want to say? No, Link to the Past, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Alright, so the way that the Dodongo works, so you get the hint in this dungeon, it says Dodongos dislike smoke. So the way that this game's like movement system works, it works on a grid. And you know, as most grids or graphs or anything like that, they have a full tile and a half tile. So like you can if you were to slap like a square grid on this screen, Link can walk on a full square tile and also on half in between like the 2 tiles. If you were to place a bomb on one of the half tiles and Dodongo walks into the smoke blast, what it does is it doesn't actually damage the Dodongo, and it stuns them. And that's what allows you to stab the Dodongo, and it forces a bomb automatically there. You can also feed one of the Dodongos a bomb as well, and then place another bomb immediately after that. And that'll stun it, and you can stab it again, like there for a bomb drop, which is what I did in that room.
It's a secret to everybody.
Alright, so I'm gonna try and build up a count here. We have a room up here called the Olive Garden. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Alright, I don't want to take damage. Okay, we're good. Yeah, it's called the Olive Garden. Because if you look at the recorder item, it looks like a breadstick. And we just called the blue dark nuts in that room just recipients of Olive Garden, and you're defeating them for a breadstick. Here at the Legend of Zelda community, we we come up with very creative names. Promise.
Look, I've watched Super Metroid speedruns. Like, tell me about ketchup and hot dogs or whatever it is, and like.
Yeah, ketchup. That's the attack from Mother Brain.
That totally makes sense, right? But yeah, at that point, I'll take any name you got. Firebird Lover in the chat says, you can say that, but we also came up with Cave 45.
Alright. Kind of slow, but we didn't take damage, and I got the bomb drop. The biggest thing is we want to leave level 5. There's our breadstick, by the way. We want to leave level 5 with 7 bombs. That's going to get us all the way through level 7, the next dungeon here, without any issues. Anything lower than 7, we would have to force a bomb on something, or take out a room of blue gorillas, which with the wood sword is incredibly slow. Oh, nice. That was a good pattern.
今のは笛なんだ。
Alright, so we saved this
ほど
bomb here.
一番最初に
We're
なん
just gonna
か
poke him and walk
入
through
手できる
iframe
も
as
のは
well
これみたいなの
and
見
grab
せ
the
られ
bombs
ました
while
け
we're
ど、
here.
Excuse me, pardon
こ
me.
れがないと一体何を入手したのかわかんないな。
Alright, so there's 2 dongos in here. I'm gonna
説明書が
place it on that
出
half
ないか
tile.
らわかんない。
And we're gonna attempt to grab that bomb. It was Butterfingers galore here with Link.
Little
Why is
dicey,
it
but we
Link?
got there in the end.
Why is Link always has Butterfingers in every game that I speedrun?
You're not saying there might be some kind of common thread.
Possibly. Maybe Link isn't the hero at time we thought he was. Maybe that's why they created the new Zelda game, Echoes of Wisdom, where Zelda's the main character.
Wait, I thought Zelda was the main character in this one.
Alright, this is Zelda. Sorry. No, come back.
なんか低いか。
Alright. So that was Dig Dogger. Weak to the recorder. We do lay a bomb before we play the recorder, because once the recorder, like the way that the timer works in this game, and it works for stuff like bomb blast, pushing an Armo statue. If you push like an Armo statue, and I'm actually going to showcase this here in just a second. So like the Armo statue takes like 2 seconds for it to like activate before you can like walk into like what it's like covering. But also if you play the recorder,
任天堂公式
takes
ホー
over
ム
the
ページ
time,
の
like the timing
あ
window
らすじを読もうかなと思います。
that it takes for the Armos to spawn. So since we need to play the
なんで
recorder there to
三
set
角を
the
集めてるん
location
だっけって私が
for
今なっ
the
てる
next
からで
recorder
す。
like whirlwind that picks us up.
アイラル
Why
地
not
方
just
にある
overlap the
小
two
王
timers
国
there?
には疾病の力を持つトライフォースと
And
呼
so
ば
let's
れ
go
る
a
黄
little
金
bit
の
further
三
into
角
the
形が
recorder.
代
The
々
way that
伝え
the
られ
recorder
てい
works
た。
in this game that a
あ
lot
る
of people
日、
just
大魔王ガの
they
率
just
い
put
る
a
魔
lot
の
of figure
軍
out
団がこの国に攻め
is
込み、
whatever
力の
Triforces
トライ
you
フォースを奪っ
selected.
た。
So anything 1 through
邪
8.
悪な支配を恐れた
The
小王
recorder,
国の
you know,
姫ゼル
puts
ダ
those
は
in memory,
もう
and
一枚
each time
残
you
さ
play the
れた
recorder,
知恵
it
の
goes
トラ
up,
イフォースを
you know,
守るため、
by 1.
8つの
Or
ち
depending
っ
on
ち
the
ゃいかけ
direction
ら
that
に分
Link
け、
is facing. So if you're facing up or
各地
right,
に隠し、
the
最も
recorder
信
will
用
give
の
you
おける
to
自分の保護インパ
plus
に
1 on
ガ
the
ノを
dungeon
倒して
counter.
くれる人物を探
If
す
you
よう
face
命じ
down
た。
or left, it
こ
goes
れを知った
downward.
ガノ
So
は怒り、
-1,
姫を
and
捕
that's
らえ
like
てインパに
from
追ってを
1 to
放っ
8
た。
and things like that.
死の闘
And
争を
we
続け
want
た
to
イ
set
ンパ
our
だが、
recorder
ついに力
over
尽
to
き、
the
ガノ
right
の手下た
location
ちに
on
囲
one
ま
of
れ
them.
てしまった。絶対
So
絶
we
命
get to the right
と
dungeons.
その時である。一人の
As
少年が現れ、
short
インパを
green
救い出したのだ。
trees.
彼の名はリンク。
That is not my arrows.
インパが一部指示を話すと、正義感に燃えるリンクは姫の救出を決意する。 だが、ガノンに対抗するためには、シールドトライフォースのちっちゃい家系を集めなくてはならない。果たしてガノンを倒し姫を救うことができるだろうか。だそうで。なるほど。だから、8つ三角形を集めたらいいんですかね。言ってる間になんかいろいろ集めてましたけど。
So that's the reason we needed the bait there. Grumble, grumble. But yeah, so we're gonna be utilizing a glitch after this dungeon, called the Recorder. And what the Recorder is, and this was discovered within the last like few years actually. If you play the recorder on a screen that has one of the raft tiles, and it lines up like with the raft, like taking you away like to like the next area, but you get whirlwind picked up before you hit that tile. It actually confuses the game, and the game just doesn't know like where it needs to drop you off, so it decides we're gonna drop you off one tile left and north. And we found a way to make that work into a new route, which is this route here. That picks up the red candle instead of buying a blue candle. Alright, we gotta be sure that the Dudongos don't pick up. Okay. I was hoping maybe for a free bomb there, but...
あ、なるほど。トライフォースを
Bubbles played nice.
服用しない人に使ってほしいから、パパは頑張って探してね。
Anyway.
At this point, I consider it like it's just good community action, right?
Yeah. Usually the Dudongos do not play nice on that screen, or not the Bubbles. They usually don't play nice. Oh, I wanted that. Oh well. Would have saved a little bit of time on the Triforce grab here. So here we're gonna do something called the World Wrap, which this game is just on a flat plane, and you can actually just like screen scroll to the other side of the entire map via some of these screens over here, and there just so happens to be a section of the screen that has a heart container on the coast, on a spot that's just like a one tile spot, and we can screen scroll to that by doing what they call a ladder clip. Which allows us to grab that. So we route this in so we can come up here and grab this next heart container, because our next goal is to pick up the magical sword, which does require a total of 12 hearts in order to pick up, and this happens to be our 12th heart. But we're gonna need to get back to the graveyard, which we were just at level 7. To do that, we're gonna need to do the recorder. So I'm gonna play the recorder here, and it's gonna hit that, and that's gonna bring us directly to the graveyard.
今のは明らかになんか悪いことした感じがしますけど。
actually set to 7, so it should have brought me to level 7. But since the graveyard is one tile left, one tile north of that, and we did recorder, it brings us directly to the graveyard, which is very convenient.
You know, it just occurred to me, and very minor spoilers for Breath of the Wild here, that the fact that the Master Sword, gasp, there's a Master Sword, requires 13 hearts is quite a troll.
Yeah. Nintendo knew what they were doing. No beams for this room kind of stinks, but whatever, we'll take the damage boosts through the keys. This level and level 8 are probably some of the scariest because Wizrobes do 1 billion damage. And for Wizrobe beams and for anything else that shoots a projectile at you, for some reason Link doesn't have a hitbox on one of his sides, so You could see as I was standing on a half tile there, and a beam just kind of went through me. Yeah, that's the power of Link doesn't have a hitbox on that side for some reason. All right, we're hoping for bomb drops here. We're not getting we're not getting lucky at all.
They heard what the bubbles did. They're gonna make us pay for it.
Okay, we have a couple more chances to get bombs. If not, we might be concerned. Usually level 6 is not that, you know, skimpy on the bomb drops here. We have this room and we have the red wizards in the next room, and then after that it's prey that... Oh, nice. Okay, Alright, we're good. Wasn't concerned.
Yep. Never in doubt.
No, never. Wasn't concerned, wasn't sweating, didn't even break a sweat, not even close, etc., etc., you know. Alright, so we're coming up on probably one of the scariest levels to lose 1 billion years in. Level 8 has 2 required blue dark nut rooms, and blue dark nuts. So there's a thing that like not a lot of people are aware of in this game, and it's a thing that dark nuts follow. It's called anti-link. Oops. And anti-link is basically just like it's another Link sprite that's on the screen, but it's in the opposite side of where you are. So like say that I'm like on the bottom left side of the screen, anti-link is on the top right. And the dark nuts will track either you or anti-link. And sometimes the dark nuts just decide they just don't want to follow you at all, and they just heck right off.
Just wander in the opposite direction, basically.
Yep. As you could see, like what those are doing over there. They just kind of wandered into that top left up there.
No, we're gonna go talk to this dragon statue over here. He's got cool things to say.
Oh, I'll take that. It's a nice little free bomb. Yeah. They also like to turn on you, like, very quickly. So if you're on a half tile, that's bad news for speedrunners. Okay. Entering Gleok is with full health is actually really nice. Typically, a lot of us will end this dungeon with like 3 hearts, and the refill takes 9 years to fill up health.
So just try to stay as close to full as you can.
Yeah, just like that. You know, the calculated fairy drop.
Look, you figure out the way to make those cosmic rays work, and the NES will dance your tune.
Just paying me back for all the 0 bombs we got in level 6. Alright, so we're coming up here on level 9. Level 9 is the scariest part of the run, because if you die, you have to do the entirety of level 9 over, but with 3 hearts. And Patras and like blue whiz robes and everything just hit like a truck, and it's never fun. Okay, that Lino was generous. That is our final screen scroll of the run. And I got beams back. Oh, it's my birthday. Alright. So I'm gonna probably be a little less talkative because I'm gonna be focusing.
Hey, you know what? No worries. It'll give me an opportunity to remind Chad if you're not in serious time, I'll have a
No, you're good.
A bit of a conversation with him.
Go for it.
So if you are looking for ways to support Take This now or even after the marathon, you've got a couple options. can always go to patreon.com/takethisorg to be able to pledge your support there on a monthly basis. And you can always choose them as your charity of support at
トライフォース
patreon.com.
三角形のちっちゃいのを8つ集めた
If you are
ので、
if you're interested in
須田に今
from the
行って、
Speedrun Ragnarok
ガノ君と戦うのか
go
な
ahead and type bang merch in chat. Take a look at the merch store. Some really interesting designs there. Good stuff.
さすがに
stuff,
昔
I
の
understand.
大人気ゲームなだ
And
けあって、
your
皆さんよくご
purchases there
存知
also
で
support Take
使っております。
Now, if you happen to be sitting on $5 and you also happen to be sitting on a dad joke, something that typically happens to me from time to time, iceblue and I are happy to hear any terrible humor that you might have, and I'll laugh. I guarantee you'll laugh. So I'll laugh at your dad joke for $5. I'll probably laugh at it anyway, but look, let's be real. I'm trying to fill time. If there's anything that I like more than dad jokes, it's the sound of my own voice. And also Zelda speedruns, and also Take This, but I'm doing a bit here, y'all. Just bear with me.
Okay, scariest part. Oh, that thing's gonna be a jerk. That bubble with prevented me from double block clipping there. Meanie. Alright, so we have the silver arrow. Now we're gonna take that silver arrow and we're gonna shove directly into Ganon's face. Yeah.
We'll go with that.
There. We do have a damage boost that we need to do through Patra 2 here. Yeah. Went nice. Okay, sometimes you can bop you out of that and you just take 6 hearts of damage for no reason.
Yeah, just a casual half your life bar.
Alright, I have 1 extra bomb for combat, so I'm gonna place it here. Wait for that to spawn in a better spot. Health is fine, I'm not really concerned. This room we may have to take a damage boost just depending on the Wizrobe spawn, so I'm gonna pause buffer. We do not. Walk down there so we can get some of the Wizrobes to move in that direction. And we are free of having constraints on bombs.
Heck yeah.
All we have left is 1 Patra and a dream. Alright, we got a frame perfect trick here called the swag arrow, but I missed.
What if the swag was the friends we made along the way, okay?
Maybe. Alright, so time for this game will be when I touch Zelda here, and we'll be swapping over to the better Zelda game.
Chat,
Okay, so that's Zelda 1.
Yeah, Zelda 2 is the best Zelda game, right? Right, chat?
I will refresh my scene here. Just
終わったのか?
Oh my goodness, I am so sorry for the language here.
Oh
終わったっぽい。ゼルダの伝説
Alright, so we're
は
gonna go
グ
ahead
ッ
and
ド
get
ゲーム
started
して、
here.
リンクと冒険がグッドラックするっぽいです。
Alright, so Zelda 2. This was considered a very, very difficult video game. I would say it is from a casual perspective. But from like a speedrunner's perspective, this is probably one of the most satisfying speedruns I've ever learned. Oh no. Okay, this might be bad.
リンクの冒険、
Hoping I'm still in the same frame. If not, we have backup.
ハイラルは後輩の一途をたどる一方でした。
But yeah,
ガノンの邪悪な心に残した力が、ハイラルの秩序をすっかり乱していたのです。その上、ガノンが倒された後も、その一部の手下たちはハイラルに残り、ガノン復活の機会を伺っていました。復活の鍵、それはガノンを倒した者、リックの血でした。リックを生贄にし、その血を灰になったガノンに振りかけることにより、ガノンは復活するのです。
You have a small
リッ
drop
クも大
table
変だ
and
な。
then a large drop table. So you have like the smaller enemies like bots and like the keys and whatnot. And every 6 kills will get you either a jar or a pea bag. For the small enemies, it's a 7 and 8 chance of a jar. And then for the pea bag, it's a 1 and 8. And it's usually a jar, you know. 87.5 chance, you know. Kind of a hefty percentage there. Oh my goodness.
Just
That was
often
a-
enough to mess with you if you don't get it, right?
Whoa, what are these bots? Oh my goodness. Hello? I've never had that bad of bubble spawns. Goodness, this is going to be a very weird walk.
Any XCOM players here in chat will know that, you know, 87.5% might as well be 0.
100% might as well be 0 at XCOM. I've seen 100% hits miss. But yeah, as far as the large table go, it's a 50-50. So whenever a large enemy drops a pea bag or a jar, it's 50-50. Why it's not that convenient for small enemies, I don't know. Ask the devs who coded this, but alright. So we're gonna do a little
さっき見てた
that saves the
初代
time
が
there called
ずっ
the
と
beam.
見下ろし型っ
Um,
て感じだったのに対して、
and what that does is
じゃあなんか
it looks really
見
cool
下ろ
to
し
take down
と
that Tensu
完
on
全
the
な
other
横
side of the
スクロール
screen
がある
because
っていうので、
the beam is available for
また
one
ちょっと
frame
新鮮ですね。
on the opposite side of the screen when you're walking in the other direction. And since those enemies spawn at a very specific spot at a specific time, we can use that to hit them with that one frame beam and, you know, destroy them.
So the room loads and then like 1 frame later you show up on the left side of the screen, kinda?
Kinda. So the way that this the game's RNG works for like encounters and things like that, because for the longest time everybody thought like encounters were just completely random, but there's actually a way to manipulate most of the encounters of the game. So the game takes into effect the, you know, your last screen exit that you did, and like how many frames it took you to leave that screen. So you'll see. Oh, that's not good. So you'll see later on in the run where we're going to be stabbing on the screen 4 times in order to, you know, manipulate a couple of like spawns so we can like walk into them to do like encounter skips. It's because we're purposely burning a certain amount of frames in order to manipulate the proper spawn pattern that we want. Losing beams here is kind of stinky, but we'll be okay. Believe me when I tell you that that sword stab against that wall to push us while we were going down the elevator was actually a setup to jump over that encounter right there. We're going to be doing that as well here. I don't know why, but I guess like Link's positioning, like when he enters the elevator there, adjusts some of the spawn patterns. So by doing that, it sets up the ability for us to stab 3 of these bubbles. That one is out of our way. And avoid taking damage at all.
I blame subpixels.
Probably. It's a good thing I've been practicing nothing but attack 3 Death Mountain this last like week. Because we're probably going to have attack 3 Death Mountain, which is fine.
So, if I'm remembering right, and I'll admit I haven't played this game, but I've got a little bit of background here. The way that you're leveling is, so you pick what you're going to gain next.
今言ってるタイトルは、100% オールキーズ というカテゴリーなので、
So,
まあ、だいたい1時
so
間
essentially what we're doing is we're gonna be
15、
taking a lot
1
of
時間
attack
20
levels first
分
off.
前後ぐらい
Because the way that this game works,
で、
whenever you defeat a
クリア
palace and you throw
す
the
る
gem
よう
up,
です
it's
なの
going
で
to
タイ
fill up
マ
your
ー的に
XP
は
enough
1
to
時
the
間
next level, guaranteed. So we're keeping our
50
life and
い
magic
や
level low.
40分から50分かも
So when we
くらい
defeat
の
a
間で
palace and throw the gem
で
in,
次のタイトル
we're
神
gonna
々のド
purposely
ラ
at
ゴ
a
スに
certain
移るんじ
XP
ゃない
point
かなと
to manipulate it to get us to the next attack level. And we're gonna do that in Palace 5, even though we have attack 8 by Palace 5. We're gonna still do that because that's still like you can level up technically to attack 9, but you actually don't get attack 9. It just gives you a 1-up, but it's gonna fill up our XP bar to 9,000, and then we use that 9,000 experience to dump life levels and magic levels.
Okay, and then just if I'm also remembering right, although it's not going to come up in this run, if you game over, they reset all of your stats to the lowest one, as I recall.
No, that's actually only on the Famicom.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the FDS is the only one that does that. Because the way that the FDS leveling works, it's the same experience for life, magic, XP, or, you know, like that. It's the same experience to level up, and you just get to choose. But the way that the leveling works on this one is attack has like specific like number that you need, magic has specific numbers that you need, you know, things like that.
So that makes rushing attack levels, as and you mentions in chat, make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
You got a second for a quick donation?
Absolutely.
I got $10 from an anonymous donor. Thank you very much. Putting it toward that 3-heart challenge. Let's keep that moving with the message, I am error.
Is which Link's Awakening is it? Do you know?
Give me a hot sec. Let me check. Game Boy.
Okay, so the original. All right, so I'll give you all a bit of insight. You want to see the 3-heart challenge for Link's Awakening. If it's the route that I think it is, it's really cool, and it's also really, really funny, kind of. You definitely want to see a 3-heart run of that. It's super cool. I'm very familiar with the 3-heart challenge for LA.
We're up to $25 out of that $250 that we're looking for. So still a ways to go, but 10% is 10%. We'll take every step that we can get. So really appreciate your generosity. And
we're gonna make a quick visit here. Hey chat.
Anybody?
I am error. All right, want to make a quick visit there. You don't have to actually do that in a run, but I thought it was pretty funny.
Appreciate it. Yeah, if you want to see that 3-heart run, just keep getting your donations in as and when you're able. We'll be happy to send them along to take this. Take This, of course, is just a fantastic group of people who provide education on mental illness so that friends, family members, and coworkers can be better allies to those who are suffering. Really great organization. We're more than happy to support them.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, if you're willing and able, please, if you have the even if it's just $5, give us your best dad joke. But it's also going to a wonderful cause, and like I said, seeing that 3-heart run for LA it's worth it. Trust me. All right, Jump Cave. Jump Cave is just kind of, it's hoping that the gorillas don't, troll you with bad boomerang patterns. Usually it's pretty simple. Yeah, I picked up this game about 4 or so years ago. And honestly, this is one of my favorite speedruns. Alright, so we're gonna take Life 2 here. Just because Death Mountain is rude. And that's our next destination. Rude Mountain. All right, we're gonna walk an extra tile here to set up a walk here. Hopefully it goes through. Should be good. Okay. Oh no, no, not the ferry. No. Ferries are the only thing in the game. Funny enough, you would think that Link would want to see ferry encounters on the overworld. The problem with ferries in this game is they have no walking, like set walking pattern. They are 100% random. And getting a ferry encounter in this game is just not something you want. Because we try to manipulate every single encounters that we walk there, and the ferry just throws everything off because it just walks wherever it pleases.
Hi, I see your run's going well. Would you like me to waste some time?
Basically, yeah. Now, if you were gonna take an encounter, ferries are the best encounters to take, just because they have the shortest screens. Ferries have no moving on their screen. It's just one like solid like square. So it only takes like 2.5 seconds to walk through the screen, whereas like if you get like a full encounter, you lose like 7. So if you had to take an encounter there, a ferry would be your best thing.
Are you ever in a position where you can choose between a ferry or monsters?
Nope. The game chooses for you.
Why would we be so lucky?
Of course, you know.
So, I don't know about
also
you.
want to point out if you're familiar with like coding terms, bagu is actually a it means bug in Japanese, I think, right?
Yeah, it's yeah the way.
So you have bug and error in this game, which is probably like the coolest lore ever.
Like I love that because it's like you get this translation and you know people in America might be like, oh god, the game break? No, they were just having a laugh.
結構
Exactly.
リンクと
It's one of my favorite like video game
魔
duos.
法
You
使
have,
いみたいな人以外に人の気配が感じられ
all
る。
right, so let's go to the fun
Those are
part of this
nuts.
run, Death Mountain.
Yay, Death Mountain!
All right,
Everybody
that's
loves
how
Death
it's fun
Mountain.
right there, bots. All right, bots make that room impossible. The reason that this is a rough part of the speedrun is you encounter something in this game in Death Mountain that just they hit like, oh my goodness, they like at life 1 or 2 you take like 3 hearts of damage or 3 squares of damage. It does so much.
You know, it occurs to me, this game was the source of my original, you know, video gamer trauma. Falling off of a pit and then just seeing that whole screen go, like, white and blue and flash. Like, I don't know why, but for 5-year-old Zero, that was intimidating.
I don't like doing advanced combat on that one Dyra. That's the Dyra, by the way, that hits like a truck. Just because of those bots. I'd rather take the damage from the keys than the boomerang there. Ow. Okay. Little concerned about dying here, but we should be fine. We do have a red jar coming up in this next room, so as long as we can make it through here, we're fine. Actually... Oh, I forgot I was attacked during.
So what difference did that make there?
Just how many hits it takes to kill that Dire. I'm used to 4 hits, but if you're attack 3, it's 6.
Oh, so you pushed him all the way back.
Yeah, I pushed him back into a spot that I couldn't really jump attack him without getting smacked in the head with a hammer or an axe or whatever they're swinging. We do not want to have you despawn off the screen. You also do not want to take a level up and
短いリーチに対して、敵の攻撃のリーチが随分と長くないですか？
So if you were too fast at the video game and you level, like the level up window comes up on the same frame as the screen transition happens, the game will it'll just darken out and you cannot do anything and you have to reset.
It's you know, and I know we like to play like, oh, these games are like, you know, who programmed this stuff, but like the fact that they work as well as they do for the size of cart that they had to work with, like I'm always impressed when I hear like the behind the scenes technical details of why these things work the way they do, where they had to hide their bits, the way they run their counters. Like,
oh yeah,
they were pulling some serious strings to get these games to work.
Oh yeah, and it's what makes like the differences between like the NES version and the FDS version, because you know the FDS disc had so much more space for everything. So like in the FDS version, the water was actually animated. You also had extra sound effects for some bosses, like Barba, the fire dragon or the lava dragon. There was a lot more to the FDS version than, you know, we had on the NES version. The water animation was the coolest. Alright, so I kind of hesitated there with an audio cue to make sure that that encounter spawned properly. Do a small little wiggle there so we don't take an Octorok bop. One thing that I did not go over because we haven't really seen it yet. So this game cheats. And I mean it in a sense of this game actually reads your D-pad inputs when you jump. So for enemies like this, if I were to hold the D-pad while jumping over him, he would have followed me. But if I jumped with full momentum and let go of the D-pad, the game was just like, oh, Link has stopped moving, so the enemy stops moving. So we're able to kind of like jump over certain enemies like that and just skip them entirely.
Hideo Kojima thought that he had us licked with Vamp in Metal Gear Solid 2. Nah, Zelda 2 had us beat.
Yep. Yeah, but you also have Psycho Mantis in Metal Gear Solid.
Man, I feel I played Metal Gear Solid 1 on the best version of Metal Gear Solid 1, which was the Windows PC port. I missed out on the entire shtick of Psycho Mantis.
Oh, you should go back and replay it on the PlayStation. It's so good. Psycho Mantis will just read stuff that's saved to your memory card.
I love that. Oh, you're a Castlevania fan, are you?
Yeah, that's the best one.
Or like,
oh my goodness.
Put your DualShock controller on the table. I'll make it move with my mind.
Yeah, it's the line from Psycho Mantis where he's just like, so you'd like to play Castlevania? You're just like, excuse me? Like that was such a cool concept for, like, you know, back when like PlayStation was like the newest thing.
Like, and you know, what game was it? Was it Psychonauts? Not Psychonauts. What was that called? Police Knots, where they wanted the disc to smell like a crime scene and stuff. Like, he was always up to that kind of nonsense.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, like he wanted to put like a coating on it so that when the disc spun, it gave off like the smell of blood. It was.
What do you mean that life bar? What are you talking about? I have plenty. 1 pixel is more than 0 pixels, okay?
That's the most important hit point.
We're not even concerned about my health at this point. because I'm gonna do this just in case. See, wasn't concerned. Yeah, I love little niche things like that, you know, things that like read your D-pad inputs or like reads like stuff that you're playing on the memory card, or like they're just like, honestly, like as much as like I enjoy like the Metal Gear Solid series and like I enjoy a lot of that stuff, just like the whole Psycho Mantis thing was like, it was really interesting like how they did that.
You don't expect it. Like, you know the people are going to be weird in the game, right? Because, like, you had Revolver Ocelot and Vulcan Raven. Was it Vulcan Raven? Yeah, he was in the tank.
Yeah, yeah.
But then they pull that kind of nonsense about this guy. It's like, okay, you know what? Fair cop, fair cop.
Also, we just picked up the most broken ability in this game. The downstab ability, because, you know, we had to talk to a guard to learn how to hold our sword under ourselves and stab. So downstab is very broken in this game in a sense to where, since enemies don't have like an actual like iframe, if you get them locked like while you're like in, like, so they still flash, but they can take damage. So like you don't take damage by like colliding with them, but you could still damage them multiple times. So we're going to be using that downstab to actually like destroy blue iron knuckles right before item rooms, and to destroy a later boss too. Good reaction there. That thing was walking directly towards us.
I really wish there, like, one of my, there was a really recently Castlevania Dominus collection came out. And,
oh my
man,
god, it's so good.
The DS games were so choice. I love them all. But for the love of heck, can we please, like, slide kick someone without taking damage? That would be wonderful.
Absolutely not. I was actually just watching Jupiter Climb run Portrait of Ruins any % route last night, the new route that they discovered, and it's 9 minutes long.
What?
And they also beat the game. Oh, they beat the game with they glitch out the game enough to just delete Jonathan, and then they just beat the game with 2 Charlottes.
Charlotte! 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 No, wait, no, she called Jonathan, my mistake.
Yeah, it was just funny to see because like the whole time, like while they're setting up the route, is because like the slide cancels in that game require you to like swap characters. So while you can't see what's going on because the screen's all glitched, all you hear is Jonathan, Charlotte, Jonathan, Charlotte, Jonathan, Charlotte. I'm just cackling because it's so funny.
Yeah, get that. You will get that in your head so bad playing that game.
It's so good though. I love Portrait. It's so good.
If you're playing it legit, like an actual legit strat in that game, throw cream pies at Richter.
Oh yeah, no, that's the way to beat Richter. I mean, granted though, like if somebody was throwing pies at me, I'd be pretty weak too.
Yeah, but like you want my okay, so yeah, you know what? You want the vampire killer unlocked? Fine, just knock it off, will ya?
No, Pie. Pie is stronger than the vampire killer, trust. Source, believe me. But yeah, anyway, back to Zelda 2. I have not been talking about this game.
Yeah, no, that's my fault.
The Swamp Walk was really good. One encounter there is really good. Granted, we want 0, but can't have everything we want. I did kind of mess up the walk because if you get like walking out of that heart container cave, if you get 1 back spawn there, it sets up like a free, like, what we call a free walk. And I did get the back spawn, and I didn't react to it. I kind of just went the normal like up to dodge the encounter. So my bad on that one, but it's okay. Coming up here after this room is one of the scariest rooms in the run. You are giving, oh nice, the Ninja Gaiden treatment in this room coming up. to where enemies spawn on the ledge, which Ninja Gaiden is super famous for. This bot right here is very armed and dangerous, and will that one too, and will knock you into that lava. But we're not dying today, not unintentionally at least. But yeah, those bots will randomly jump and knock you into the lava. No, I want this actually. No. We want fairy, even though I won't be able to cast it for the glove room. Actually, no, I think this enemy right here should be a drop.
Blood for the blood bot, says Alu.
Yeah, no, bots are the hardest enemy in the game. Despite them dying in one hit at attack 3, hardest enemy in the game. Very generous Tetris room. Oh, I'm concerned about the future of this run.
If there's a theme for tonight, it's regression to the mean.
Oh, the bot drop and despawn the Iron Knuckle. Nice. So that's another thing that this game has. Sprite limits. If the dripper over here spawns a bot as you're walking towards the left, so there's normally 2 red Iron Knuckles in that room. If it spawns a bot while you're walking before the second Iron Knuckle spawns, it will despawn that Iron Knuckle.
Nice.
Thankfully, I'm not in any dire need of experience, so we're safe there. But we do
リン
need
ク
to
が
have
ジャンプしたりしなかったりしてるのは、別にジャンプしたからといって、移動が速くなったり遅くなったりするわけじゃないから、なんか、気分で飛んでたりするんですかね。これも
Alright, we're gonna skip these. So that glove allows us to break bricks on the wall, which gets us through the rest of this palace. Do a little couple shield tanks there. If we get a blue bot spawn here, we don't. We'll have to wiggle here for this bubble. If not, you take damage.
There's plenty of incentives open, in addition to the 3-heart run, which I would love to see. I know a lot of you are in that same boat. There's a couple of them first thing tomorrow morning that I want to point you at. First thing tomorrow, we have Organ Mike running Ultima 4, Quest of the Avatar, No Major Glitches. There's a Glitch the Abyss incentive, $150 target for that. Now for that one, you've got until the end of the run, so you don't have to be up first thing in the morning, but make sure you get your coffee and come onto the keyboard, because there's gonna be shenanigans afoot. And then the after image, the World Flower run. That is being run by Azuark right around 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. There's an all endings upgrade, $150 there on that goal. For that one, you have probably about till the middle of the run, but you know, if you have the opportunity and you have the spare coin, no reason to wait. You get your donations in, and we would love to see those upgrades.
All right, so the reason we want 1950 is because our level up here, when we throw the gem, is going to be at 100 and 150 for Life 3 and Magic 2, and we need to skip those to get Attack 6. So we were just enough to skip those two, so when this gem fills up our XP, it's going to give us 2785. But we're going to let that fill up while we walk through the swamps here. Oh, you're gonna walk into me, aren't you? Yep. Alright. You thought Zelda runners couldn't do math? Oh yeah, you're right. It was 7,004.
Well, that's why we did the math beforehand, right? So we don't have to.
Yeah, I have it written down on my brain. Alright, so we're gonna come back to this town, and the reason that we leave Shield Town for later, it does lose like 4 seconds, but it sets up a consistent walk to Palace 3. So it's honestly better to just do this first, or last, in this segment, and set up the consistent walk, because walking through the graveyard to Palace 3 will give you encounters that can beat you into oblivion. Mowers are not nice in this game, by the way. So we're gonna grab the shield spell here. We're gonna keep it locked on Fairy, though, because we're gonna need Fairy the moment we enter a specific tile in the graveyard. And also I'm gonna be doing a very specific walk out of the town here, because we need to burn 1 tile to set up the walk. And that's gonna set up our encounter spawning properly. So we're gonna walk left instead of down to burn that extra tile, and then we're gonna step down here, wait for that blob to be on a half tile, and then we can slink it. And it gives us a free walk all the way to King's Tomb, which we then exit and then walk straight down into the drop tile. And that is our free tile.
How are you supposed to know that that was there?
There's hints in the town of Mido, I think. I don't know. I call all the towns in the game by their spells.
Fair.
But yeah, there's a hint in Mido that tells you that there's a tile that leads. You know what? I'll actually take that. I'll take full health there. Alright, Palace 3. The reddish burgundy palace? Kind of. This palace introduces a enemy called the Doom Knocker. That guy. Those things also hit like they're throwing bricks at you.
今まで
Maces instead.
見てきた感じだとそんなに
They
なん
hit
か
very hard,
悪いこと
especially
を
because we're only attack 2,
してる
or life 2 here.
見た目感では
So
ないで
damage
す
is
ね。
going to be throwing us into the graveyard right before the palace. Okay, nice blocks. Moa with its fire drops. This room, if you do it the same every time, you get the same results every time. So he's gonna throw a mace, we're gonna jump down stab, and we're just gonna continue walking.
The mace just decides, you know what? Nah.
Yep. Jump through the HUD a couple times for fun. Alright. I don't know where my drop is. I need to take something. Because we need to exit this palace at 733. Just for proper level ups that we have routed in. Coming up here after this screen, we have probably one of the more dangerous rooms. Another one of those Ninja Gaiden-esque type rooms, where they thought it was a really cool idea and funny to slap a bunch of bots. I did that myself.
Well,
okay. That death was not intentional.
let me
急にめちゃめちゃピカピカしたからびっくりした。
They've got plenty of great resources for mental health and community. If you want a quick link to those resources, they're on the website, or you can just type "bang resources" in the chat and get those links directly.
That was so like I was explaining earlier.
あれは
The downstab being broken.
死んじゃ
So
う
what
と
we do is we jump into
ああいう感じになる
box there, and we do
んで
something
す
that
か
we
ね。
call the jackhammer. And that's just basically you can do as much damage
目に悪い
as
かも。
you can mash down.
あま
There
り
is
皆
no
さん、
limitation to
まあ
it.
いつでもですけど、目には近づきすぎず、
I
適
also
切な
gasped
距離を保って
because I wasn't supposed
くだ
to
さいね。
take a death there.
So is that going to throw anything off later? Like, is there a routing problem there?
It just means one less death abuse in Palace 4.
Fair.
We take a certain amount of death abuses in Palace 4 to save a little bit of extra time, but having a death early doesn't lose anything, really. It just means that we have to walk through one of the screens instead. I will say my XP is a little bit lower than I want it to be. So I'm gonna probably have to kill an extra blue iron knuckle here. Because we've already gotten our drop. That was 3 kills ago. Yeah, we're gonna have to kill this blue iron knuckle coming up right before the boss room, because we need to be at 399. Don't ask why 399. This boss here says that it gives you 300, but it actually gives you 301. I don't know why.
Sure. You got a second for a donation?
Yeah.
So we did get a $25 donation. Thank you very much to Edward_Malice, putting that toward the 3-heart challenge. We're making some progress there. Happy to see it. Who says, greetings from Texas. Well, you know what? Greetings from Ohio here. It's a state. You make do.
なるほど。なんか、ステータスがいくつかあって、それをある程度自由に育てられるけど、名門馬になると、一番育ててない低いステータスに全部合わせられるペナルティがあると。危ない番だけど。ちょっと難しそうっすね。
Rebenak is going to give us 301. For whatever reason. I guess the horse counts as 1?
Sure.
Alright, we're going to set up the jump spell here, because we want to burn all of our magic for the next town. And we're going to set up that slink as well.
We are getting a little tight on time with the 3-heart challenge, but we are, thanks to that generous donation, up to $50 out of the $250. Still a ways to go, but I think we can do it.
Yeah, like I said, if you are able to, please, we'd very, very much appreciate that, and it's going to a wonderful cause. Do another little visit to King's Tomb here, and then we're going to make our way over to the next continent, the Eastern Continent. I'm going to immediately do like a wiggle walk here, where we walk down and then up first, just so it kind of like avoids that first encounter. Don't go right. Okay. Don't go right. Oh no. Alright, this next walk is going to be very scuffed. We are definitely getting random walked here. I'm gonna pause buffer it. We should be fine. Okay. Yeah, we got mega random walk there. So random walk just means that the encounters just decide to do whatever they feel like it and walk wherever they want. Because typically the route that we take, everything is just kind of like set to where like encounters will walk where we want them to walk, as long as we don't lose more frames than we need to on the previous screen. Gonna refresh the fairy spell so when we get to the next town, because we're gonna be using I guess not really a glitch, it's just like an abuse of the mechanic. So the next town, in order to get the up-stab ability, you have to like jump on the roof, and you have to like press down into a chimney, and you go into the chimney, and the person there gives you know, up-stab. But we're gonna kind of do that, but we're gonna be in fairy form. So it's I guess it's kind of like a. All right, so there's a forced encounter. There's a forced encounter there that we want to skip. Oh god.
David TKI in chat asks, "What's up-stab?"
I don't know. What's up-stab with you? Sorry.
Knowing what I know about David, that's exactly what we were looking for.
Look, David would have told me that in person at GDQ. So...
No doubt. No doubt.
今私、皆さんの
Alright, so we're gonna jump
チャッ
and
ト
read
の
in the
コメン
next
トで、
information.
なんか何してるんだなっていうのを把握しているんですけど、皆さんがいなかったらなんか、
So,
ピンク頑張ってるみたいですみたいな、そんな気持ちにしかならないかも。だから、頑張ってるから、頑張ってるのはわかるんだけど。
So 100% all keys is basically it's 100% glitchless. So no fairy feet, which I will explain that glitch in just a second. There you can't ferry. You're not allowed to ferry through the doors. It's just 100% glitchless category. It's the main category on the speed boards. And then for fairy feet, which is used in pretty much every other category. So someone, I don't remember who, someone found that like when they were playing with their feet. I don't know why. I don't even ask questions anymore. I just roll with it. But somebody was playing this game with their feet and was in fairy. And so fairy feet is when you go to the edge of the screen. It's kind of like a screen scroll. But if you go to the edge of a screen and you one frame tap to the edge of the screen, the fairy will disappear on the screen, but the screen won't exit. But so if you tap the other direction, hold on, I gotta talk to this NPC, it's important. A P. That sets up the walk out of town, by the way. I'm not lying to you.
I believe it.
We're gonna get an encounter that's gonna walk directly into us. But yeah, so if you do that and you know, so say like you're on the left side of the screen and then you ferry into the right side of the screen, and if the fairy sprite is off screen, you can press right even though you're on the that's bad. Even though you're on the left side of the screen and need to exit left, you will actually just skip through the entire encounter.
Nice. So you can pretty much in theory skip rooms at a whim, right?
Only on the overworld. It doesn't work in like dungeons and things like that. I had nowhere to go there. That's what we like to call robbery. Alright, anyway. Elzad is a very terrible walk, which is just dazzle backwards. Because the person who found that walk to the town initially, their username was Dazzle. So we just call the return to Maze Island the Elzad, which is just dazzle backwards. Again, speedrunners, we come up with funny names.
You do a run enough times, you gotta figure out ways to entertain yourself at points.
Absolutely.
And like, what are we here for? I mean, besides raising money for Take This, what are we here for if not to have some fun, right?
Exactly. I'm here for fun. I don't know what y'all are here for. I don't know your prerogative, but I'm here for fun. I'm also here to raise money for Take This.
I was told there was coffee.
Coffee? What? Where? I wasn't offered coffee. Is this Natara's doing?
I just choose to blame Natara for everything.
You know what? Fair.
Dragon Lord Carter in chat says, speedrun tricks are named either for the person who did it, some weird factoid relating to discovering it, or food.
Got shoutouts to the Zelda 1 manip that JSR found and named it after a bunch of different foods and sauces. JSR actually, so when JSR discovered the Zelda 1 manip, which I know but don't like doing because it's very hard to set up and requires 2 different like live split timers. No, you're passing here. Yeah, they're named after food. Like there's one that's called steak sauce. There's one that's nutter butter. there's so many. Ow, there's so many.
That is certain point, you just start to wonder who's approving these names, right?
Yep.
So was that intentional there?
Yes. We didn't get the jar there, so that was an intentional death.
David TKI in chat says, even his dog is named after food.
It is. Peanut butter. Alright, so here's another instance of the jackhammer.
なんか、
As
こ
you can
の
see, the
妖精さん
has no
に会ったと
iframes,
き、
and
なんか、画面が光るん
we
で
don't、take damage from them.
それが長時間続いてるのが、落下死のゲームオーバーの時を見る
Oh, also, whenever we fall down, we're
で
supposed
す
to
か
go.
ね。まあ、やっぱ
I
り
haven't been doing it. I'm sorry.
常に画面と適正な距離を皆さんも保ちましょう。
We fall, you go, wee!
Alright, I don't think this one has a drop. No, it doesn't. That's okay. I'm gonna save the Death Abuse for the third one. We can get a blue jar somewhere. Because I need jump for the next key. Ooh. Ow. My beams.
That's beans.
Excuse me. Wizribs in here are also jerks.
You had me at Wizards.
True. Hello? Game? What? What? Where is my block? Actually... There, now I can cast jump. That's the blue jar I was looking for. And take my frustration out on this wall. Okay.
It knows what it did.
Yeah, true. Alright, so this is the route through this palace is kind of like you have to go to the right first just to get the boots. I have not learned the new Karok kill because it's fully manipulated, and there's 128 patterns you can do with Karok, and if you do the manip, then there's only like 5 that you have to learn. And I have not learned that, unfortunately. Make sure you kill that Doom Knocker before you exit that room, because when you walk back into it from this room, you will get maced right in the face. And I don't mean that as a pun. Or maybe I do. Aw.
I'm good for... I love a good dad joke, but I draw the line at puns.
Sorry. You still have another hour and some change to deal with me.
Yeah. It'd be
Oh,
alright.
actually 2 hours. Actually 2 hours, sorry.
Zelda 3 is a beefy game.
Eh. Alright, we're just gonna take the safe route here and just kill these. Alright, and that's the other death abuse I'll take there. Because it leaves us with 2 lives. And it gives us enough magic to cast Reflect on Karok, which we absolutely 100% need. That is a 1 spell that is required to beat this game, is Reflect. Reflect and Thunder. Just gonna let that Mew dive to its own pass. Break physics here. Because how is this platform still standing if there's no block supporting it? think my drop is right here. Nope. Should be the next couple kills then. Alright, so this is Karok. This boss is probably the hardest in the series. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna stand in this corner and hold down left, and I'm gonna be able to talk to chat. Hi, chat. Hello. Hello. What's up, David? What's up, Wells? Have a good night, Wells. What's up, Old One? Alice, Ninja. Oh, he's gone. Okay. Lego.
よくわかんないけど、
We also wait
立ってるだけで敵を倒した。
to like queue up our next spell.
反
Because
射とか
the game will only
です
ever
か？
count, you know, menu loss there, like whenever you're menuing like without like audio like that. But like when you toss the gem up and it's playing the little jingle of you beat the palace, the game will always start at the same point. So like you could keep the game paused like the entire time it's like doing that. The moment the jingle is finished, it starts refilling your health and magic, and then the XP starts going up. So we use that opportunity to save a menu, essentially, to get us to like out of the palace. Alright, so we're going to be attempting a trick called Eco Key here. In practice, it's not gone well, so I don't plan on, you know, actually landing it.
やはり反射。
Not. What that would have saved if we would have gotten the correct damage boost there is it would have saved us 12 and a half seconds, because we would have been able to damage boost up there, grab the key, and not have to re-enter the screen. But, you know, we missed it.
So, why do we lose the time? Can we not pick that up as fairy?
Nope. You cannot. You actually can. You can only pick up the keys by stabbing them. Strangely enough.
My headcanon is that that's a key ring that Link has on his sword.
It's possible. Oh, not that one. You? Is it you? Are you the drop? Alright, I still have to kill a Mago down here, which is unlucky. I would have rather a red jar. Because I need the magic. This is probably the worst room in the entire game here. You need to have at least 2 blocks here build up in order to grab this key.
And you just get to wait until they come?
Yep. Sometimes the game just drops a million blocks on the left side and just tells you to heck off. Or sometimes it's nice. Mostly it's usually just a heck off, but...
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yep, pretty much. Okay. We're gonna be turning on the Game Genie here in a few screens. We're gonna activate No Clip and walk through a wall. I'm kidding.
I was told this was a glitchless run.
For legal reasons, I am kidding.
With regard to that last screen, Lego Man in chat says, the game tells you to kick blocks.
Alright, Game Genie's on. Alright, I turned it off. Sorry.
I'm guessing that's an expected, like, that's just a fake wall.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's a fake wall, and you're told that in the town that we have not gone to yet. To pick up the fire spell. They actually tell you that this palace has a hidden wall.
Walk into the town and they're like, hey, did you know that? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You messed up our whole bit, Link. Come on.
Alright, health is a little concerning. I don't want to take a death here. We should be okay as long as we don't get any trolley Mago spawns. Don't you do it, game. Okay, it didn't do it.
And just for my own keeping track. Magos are the fireball guys.
Yeah. Yeah, those they're called Magos, Magoos, whatever.
Awu and you in chat very helpfully has provided us a mango emoji.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's over. The joke about that room, if Link touches the edge of the corner there, like where the little platform that key is on, we lose 9 years. So I'm sorry to tell you that the last 9 years of your life are gone.
So yeah, we'll catch you next year at Speedrun Ragnarok 2034.
Okay, we can gain at least 4 of them back if I can kill this red iron knuckle, orange iron knuckle in a room in the future, without breaking the block above it. So we can at least gain half of that back.
Oh, good. I was hoping to get that promotion.
Oh.
I'm not eligible for a sabbatical for another 2.
Oh, okay. Well, here's hoping. Okay. Keep up shield, because that's the next spell I'm gonna need for this boss, because Guma hits... Guma is the truck that hits. Not hits like a truck. Guma is the truck. Alright, so after this room is the orange IK. Alright. Alright, we gained at least half of that time back. So we only lost 4.5 years. Also, if you don't break the blocks to the beat of the song here, your run is invalid. Very generous patterns there. That's really nice.
Really clean.
Alright, XP just needs to be at 700, so we're good. Alright, now for probably the hardest boss in the game. Guma. You can only hit Guma in the shins.
Doyet in chat says, unfortunately, his hits do isekai you into a world where Ganon is revived.
Okay, we'll take out Ganon anyway. Alright, so, for this next... Oh, nice. For this next screen, as long as you have under 6,000 experience when you fairy grab the heart container, you are safe from a hard lock. This screen is super dangerous, and I've seen it kill many runs. But we are under 6,000 experience when I grab that heart container, so we're fine. I've seen many of people just hard lock their game because the experience counter hit 9,000. And the reason we want to avoid that screen and get the level ups in town is the music that plays, like the jingle that plays, is actually shorter in town. Also, sorry for no attack 9-Awu.
Run's not valid.
Yeah, it is. So whenever you level up, like in any other screen except for a town, it's like it plays the doo 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 doo. But when you're in town, it just doo 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 doo. It's about 2 seconds shorter than the original jingle. So with the 4 level ups that we get there, we save about 8 seconds. Alright, so we're gonna get here, we're gonna come pick up the spell that has exactly 2 uses in my route and my run. After that, we don't ever use it ever again. This is the fire spell. All it does is it turns your sword beams into fire. And its use in the casual run is it's more useful in a casual run because there are some enemies that are completely immune to sword damage, but fire, destroys them. And we're going to be using that on one enemy in particular, and that's the Tektites. Little bouncing spiders that we see in another room. We're also going to be talking to this town sign here. It tells us about the first boss in Final Fantasy VI, the Welk. And we're going to use that to set up this walk up here. And that skips the first encounter that we call the Wilson fences. If you've ever seen Home Improvement, those are Wilsons, aka Red was Lizalfos. But they talk, they peek over the fence like Wilson from Home Improvement.
I don't think so, Tim.
I'm gonna set up 2 stabs here to set up the next encounter walk, hopefully. Kind of dodge those just to save some health here. We're gonna walk on this swamp tile. Do a little pause buffer strat there to kind of like see where these encounters are walking. Okay, we should be fine.
It's done. They've done it.
Alright, and that's the one use of the fire spell. Do a little wiggle there to kind of bounce on him. And this is another...
More damage?
No, it doesn't. It just does whatever your attack level is. Okay, so this is the hidden town of New Kasuto. So we're gonna route kind of through here a little differently. We're gonna grab a full magic refill, and that's just so we can ferry through the 2 items that we have to pick up here. But we also need to pick up the spell that's here, and the spell that's here is the spell that, allows us to spell the spell so we can spell the spell that casts the spell. Do you know how to spell?
I mean, I used to. I don't think I can anymore.
Well, make sure you remember the magic word.
Good, I got it now. And so that does what, then?
So the spell has a unique ability. It turns every enemy, with the exception of like Blue Lizalfos and things like that, like big enemies, into bots. So it makes a lot of screens easier. It also raises this giant tower that gives us the any key. So even though we picked this up, we still need to pick up keys, because they are required for the category.
But if I'm hearing that right, you could just open any door in the game right now if you were allowed to by the category.
Yep. Yeah. So now that we have the any key, it's the master key, the skeleton key, the key, spell key. It just gives us infinite keys. And we're gonna do this so we can grab this one final magic jar, and that's gonna give us full magic for our walk to Palace 6. And the reason that we ferry to pick up these items, Link has like a freezing animation whenever he picks up an item, where he just stops and stands in place for about 4.5-5 seconds. Ferry actually removes that animation, and it just allows you to continue moving immediately.
Because
So being able to... Yeah. Alright, so we have one important walk here that I usually mess up, that requires a double slink. And we're going to hesitate a little bit on the screen to kind of set up that walk, hopefully. So we're going to wait, and then go. We're going to stand on this tile. Slink that encounter. Oof. Nope, we got a random walk there. No.
Rude.
Alright, Palace 6. Now this is the Burgundy Palace looking thing, I guess. Burgundy Palace 2, Electric Boogaloo, I guess.
Sure.
This palace has some of the coolest tech in it, because we're gonna utilize the fire spell in this palace to kind of stun lock some of the raw heads that come flying it like an arc. We're gonna jump through him, stab him once, just to damage boost across that gap because that is a 4-tile jump, which 4-tile jumps are impossible. Link will always fall because Link is silly.
Would the jump spell help you there?
It would. You're supposed to use it there, but we don't want to recast jump or have to remenu it. This is my favorite strat in the game. Is I'm refreshing this room. I refuse. I'm not messing up that. Okay, back to this. This is the coolest room in the game, to where you break that one block and it just gets that bubble stuck. Otherwise, that bubble will follow you and harass you.
First try.
Yeah, it was first try. Alright, so this room, I'm gonna actually take that. This room actually has a hidden little pit here that we're gonna jump over. And the reason that we jump over it is because it does drop us down, and we don't want to drop down because it loses over 50 seconds. But there's a little hidden room that I will go over why it's called what it is. It's actually called, so they call that the Canada hole. And the reason that it's called that, during the very first Zelda 2 100% all keys tournament, every runner, like every Canadian runner, fell into that hole. And they deemed it as the Canada hole. Ever since then, every single Canadian runner just fell into that pit. So it's now just called, and this is like a universal thing in the community. It's just
10時
called
と
the
なり
Canada
ました
hole.
が、ここで司会進行の方は交代させていただきたいと思います。ここまでの司会進行、私、平良木が担当いたしました。皆さん、チャットいただきありがとうございました。助かりました。引き続き、ジャパニーズリストリームの方をお楽しみください。失礼いたします。
Destroy that guy. Hopefully we can ceiling walk here. Nope, I was late. Whee!
はい、というわけで、司会進行変わりました。大場が担当させていただきます。皆さんよろしくお願いいたします。ただいまのゲームは、クラシックゼルダトリロジー、初代ゼルダリンクの冒険、神々のトライフォースという順番でやるカテゴリーで、ただいま2つ目、リンクの冒険。もう終盤に差し掛かっておりますね。6つの神殿と大神殿、これが今、その6つの神殿一番最後の、第6神殿攻略中となっておりますね。
Either you take them out or you can like just kind of like move around them. But with the fire strats there, since fire just doesn't stop whenever you hit something, it's really nice because it just stun locks them and then destroys them on the next spawn. All right, we're gonna stand right here for the Rebo quick kill. Kind of upstab that key, and then we are going to enter the boss, where we're going to give this boss a massive headache. This is going to be Barba, the giant I wish I was Volvagia dragon. And the way that this fight works is, as long as you don't lose any frames before the boss spawns, Barba will always spawn in this right pit.
さて、第6神殿のボス、出てきたところ下突きで瞬殺ですな。
stuff.
Alright, menu to ferry here, because we do have a level up coming up, so our magic level just does not matter. And I will not be taking attack 9 a woo.
これで第6神殿がおしまいと。
Nope, there's not.
So, just as a reminder for the folks who are just joining us, we are raising money for Take This. They are a fantastic charity that their motto is support community and mental wellness because it takes both appropriate support, healthy work and homeless environments, clinical support, opportunities for self-care, as well as a supportive community to build the resilience everyone needs for mental well-being. Right now, we're pushing hard toward a 3-heart challenge for Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on Game Boy. 100% reverse boss order. That's a 3-heart
I
challenge.
can give your most magic.
$50. We're about 200 out. We still got a couple hours before that run, but let's not spend too much more time hitting that. And if you do donate right now, and I mean right now, you'll have a one-of-a-kind incentive, which is to be the 100th donation of the marathon. Now, what does that get you? Honestly, just my very sincere thanks, but it's a big number. I like it when number goes up.
100% オールキーズの、カテゴリーを
I'll put your name up on the wall. I don't know which
埋め
wall,
な
but
き
I'll
ゃ
put it up on the wall.
いけないんですの
As far as I'm concerned,
Oh, are you kidding me?
ああ、今のはエンカウント避けられなさそう。
still open for your best dad joke.
うん。
Alright, so normally, like,
今のは
use the spell spell
多分
here,
悪いことを
just to turn all these MOAs and bots
したんですかね。
or things into bots. But yeah, okay.
うん。ああ、落ちそうになったのをフェアリーで避けた。
That decision was made for us, it looks like.
Having beams for these rooms are really nice. Are you
Ah.
kidding me? Where was my jump?
うん。
Momentum here. Okay.
俺はもう間に合わないと察したが。
So we have no death abuses at this point?
Well, if we die in GP, then it's a game over.
さあ、死の谷を進んでいますね。
We're lucky enough to have zero count as
こ
one.
こを抜ければ最後の大神殿。
Could cheat the category and just up-A at GP.
左上に見えましたね。あそこですね。
But we're not gonna do that. That's cheating. Excuse me. I am definitely gonna take this level up here. That's not fun. Max was nice at least.
Max is...
The blue scorpion there. Named after Scorpion Max in the Z2 community.
うん、ここのエンカウントかなり怖いっす
Okay,
ね。
our XP's fine. Just
穴が多くて。
Ow. We don't need beams anymore. Alright, our XP is where we want it to be. We want to take this level up in GP
あ、最後の大神殿。
at the latest that we can possibly take it. So we
ああ、
have
知恵の借り物にあの目玉いるんですね。まだ知恵の借り物やってないです
also get your
ね。
cat jams out.
ああ、最後の神殿ということで、めちゃくちゃ広いです。
Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit focused here.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I had the extra life, I wouldn't be too worried, but the extra life is a little concerning.
Chat, just a quick reminder that there are 4 prizes, well, more than 4, as we'll find out in a moment, that a donation right now will get you in the running for. There's a Hylian Shield pair of hand warmers, contributed by Darth Plagle, a Steam code for the game Stray Gods, contributed by Margaret Ann, And then a donation on any day of the week, today included, will get you an entry into the grand prize for a set of 4 nerdy cross-stitch kits from Pross and Coffee, and a set of 4 surprise Steam codes, also from Margie. And that donation can be of any amount at all, so get a single donation in anytime during the week, you can be entered into those grand prizes.
Oh, he was a jerk. I might have to farm the jar coming up here. Yeah, we're gonna farm for the jar here. Just to be safe.
ああ、そうですね。ダンジョンマップないから探索自分で地図作らないとわからなくなっちゃいますよね。
No. No. It's a 50-50, by the way.
これは何をしてるんでしょう。
50-50, by the way.
Engineers in chat, hope you're counting up and binary with me, because we're up to a 1 in 32 on that one.
To my science nerds, this blue bird knight is named Scott Beekula. And that the jumps that we make to break the blocks and jump into like the gap that we break are called the quantum leaps.
ああ、回復の壺か。はいはいはい。
So shout outs to my science nerds.
Oh,
And that
boy.
is a community
5
thing.
回ぐらい連続でハズレを引いてた。
Alright, I am taking the safety route here. I had to do that little duck, if not that blue bird knight. I don't want to say what the bird knight's actual name is. Because it kind of teeters the line of PG.
Look it up.
Yeah. We'll just call him Jerk.
That sounds fine.
Alright, I'm gonna actually take the time to take out one of these. Because we are very close to, we have to worry about this giant bot here. And then we have to worry about a jar drop.
じゃあ何落
Last
ちて、
wee of the run. Okay, so we're gonna queue up multiple spells here. We have jump, shield, reflect, because the reflect spell
Oh,
actually lowers makes Link's hitbox smaller. And then thunder for this boss.
You called this the Thunderbird earlier?
Yes, this is Thunderbird.
青い状態で攻撃するとダメージが入って、これで終わりかと
And that's actually its canon name.
思いきや、
Yeah. And then we have the final boss of the game, Dark Link.
ラスボス戦。
And then we're gonna have a big screen transition where I change consoles and I have to change the RCA cables in my retro tank.
ダークリンクですね。ダークリンクっていうか、リンクの影。倒しました。これで、リンクの冒険が終わりですね。ダーリン。さあ、続きまして、これで3つ目のゲーム、神々のトライフォースが始まります。神々のトライフォースは多分、初期版、日本語の初期版ロムなので、日本語だと思います。
please feel free to join our Discord. We'd love to have you.
ノーメジャーグリッチっていうのは、まあ、このゲームのグリッチ、メジャーグリッチっていうのとマイナーグリッチっていうの2つのカテゴリーに分かれていて、まあ、普通に全部ありにしてしまうと2分ぐらいで終わってしまうので、それらを排除して、許されているグリッチ、マイナーグリッチを使って、攻略していくっていう感じですね。
Onward to the third and final video game. We have Link to the Past. We're gonna be playing on the Japanese version because there are exclusive glitches to the Japanese game. And we're gonna be utilizing those to cheat our way to victory.
このゲーム、上に進むときと左に進むとき、最初の1歩目っていうのが、2ピクセル進むようになっていますので、上と左に進むとき、止まっちゃった、その1歩目だけを進むようにちょこちょこちょこちょこちょこっと、入力していくと、ちょっとだけ早く進むことができます。
But the category is 80% NMG. I don't know if they removed the no save quit thing, but you can't save quit either. Save quitting is also banned.
So
and save quitting. Save quitting would just give you the ability to like start at like Sanctuary or Link's house. It's just not listed in the category anymore for. When I started running it, it was 80% NMG.
ハイラル城にゼルダ姫を救いに行きます。
So this game, I love to refer to this game as this game is kind of like how Super Metroid is. It's optimized to basically have a speed run for every single room.
青いタートナックは、
that's like the best way to like
剣で3回切らないと倒せないんですけれども、密着して回転切りするといい感じに、回転切りが2回入って一発で倒せますね。
But like there's like little things like how like Link enters door frames and things like that. Like if you nudge against the door frame, you lose frames, things like that. But yeah, there's a lot going on like with how this game like technical stuff works with this game.
I've seen a few folks probably
だって一番下に行くと、鉄球兵がいて、倒さなきゃいけないんですが、一番手っ取り早いのは、普通に剣で倒しましたね。
Yeah, there's a lot of rando settings for this game. One big thing, like when you're like learning this game, you wanna make sure you're clearing a text box with.
壺で投げても2回で倒せます。
With L and R, like mashing it, except for the final text box. And that just gives you the ability to, you know, you're not slashing right after a text box, or you're not like activating like boot stashes.
そうですね。
Or using like
僕も壺使いますかね。やるときは。
But you can clear most text boxes, like the final text box with L and R. And another thing, like, it just frame savers as well. When you're walking into like doors like this, if you press right before a door frame like that, it saves frames. There's a lot of like small technical things in this game. Exiting staircases, like walking left or right, removes like the lag that Link has when he walks up from like a staircase. There's so many small little things.
So if we're doing that many micro optimizations, I think it's safe to assume that this that this category's leaderboard is pretty hotly contested.
To put it simply, there are only two 122s on the speedrun board. There are a bunch of 123s, there are only 2 122s. One of them was just gotten the other
あ
day.
ちなみに、上虎の、
There's a 122, I think 31.
クリアタイムはだいたい、
It's,
1時間
it's
30分ぐらい。
it's a pretty it's a
ワールドレコードだと、まあ、1時間22分30秒、今、スピードラン .com には記録されていますか
even
ね。
like my top time. I have a 128 in this game.
まあ、だいたい速い人だと
And
2時間は切りますね、
I
普通に。
I think of myself. I'm not a speedrunner. I just play one on TV. But like the number of available things that you can do in the speedrun community, it isn't just limited to trying to get top times, right? Like you could do glitch hunting, you could do all kinds of things. So you look at this.
この部屋は、小さな鍵がないといけないんですが、左のネズミが持っていますので、
Maybe you
拾い
could,
ます。
but even if you can't, there are so many ways that you can contribute to these communities.
Oh yeah. There's like even like like helping like routing, like right now, like I'm routing or like I'm routing with a few other people like TGH. We're routing Echoes of Wisdom glitchless because the
2つレバーがありますが、右の方が正解のレバーです。
not my cup of tea. So like we've been routing, glitchless and just finding like just minor optimizations, less menus and things like that. It's super helpful. Like we have somebody in the channel that's like, they're not even doing runs yet, but they're finding small micro optimizations here and there of like, well, we can do something that's a little bit faster than what we were doing before. So like any type of help there is just, it's always, yeah, please don't repeat that, is always really nice.
あとの器は、まあ、安定ですね。
And this game is very mean, especially when you get to the dark world.
Oh yeah, those
You only have
ストーリー上では、サハスラーラの場所を探したりするんですが、その辺はすっ飛ばせるので、もうそのまま最初のダンジョンに行きますね。
No, blue mail is actually something you find in Ice Palace.
I can't remember which color is which. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, blue mail is in Ice Palace, which is in the Dark World, and then red mail is in Ganon's Tower.
Oh jeez. Okay, so it's really all about just having a nice stack of hearts.
Yeah, the game like essentially assumes you would have like 9 or so hearts from picking up like heart pieces and things like that. And you'll see a lot of like Link's movements. Like if you're to the trained eye, you can see Link like walking up the staircase faster, like something like that, rather than just like I won't do it here. But
ちなみに階段を登るときは、左上、右上、左上、右上と交互に連打した方がちょっとだけ速く走れます。一つ目の、表の一つ目のダンジョン、東の神殿ですね。
It pushes you forward 1 frame. It's the same concept in Link to the Past when you're walking up like a ladder. If you pump left and right, it actually pushes Link and makes Link walk a little bit faster up, like staircases and things like that.
次、骸骨が湧く部屋ですが、壺を持って、2体出す方法取らなくて、うまくやれば、2体だけ出して倒すことが、早く進むことができます。ちょっと位置が悪かったですね。で、進むために大きな鍵を取りに行っています。暗い部屋に入ると左に鍵がかかっているので小さな鍵を取りに右の部屋に入って、右上の壺の中に小さな鍵があるのでそれを回収して鍵を開けます。で、次の部屋ですが、大きな鍵がある部屋なんですけれども、敵を全部倒すと、スイッチを押せるようになるんですが、そんなことせずにダメージを受けて、無敵時間中に、壺を持ち上げてボタンを押すことで敵を倒さずに、宝箱を出すことができますね。
boots dust and stuff like that. So if you're doing that,
最低限のダメージで
Link isn't
いけました。
falling, so we don't access the falling animation. So with hovering, you have to basically just like it's like a weird mash, like it's not like a
弓を
mash
手に
mash, but like
入れ
it's
ました。
Like a staccato kind of.
次の部屋はまた小さな鍵を手に入れなきゃいけないんですが、右にいる、左右1体ずつアイゴールという一つ目の敵がいるんですが、右のやつが、
to get the hammer.
鍵を持っているので回収して、
The only
上の階へ。
I've heard of, and maybe this is me
この部屋は左下にスイッチがあるので、弓を回収しつつ進んでいますね。この部屋、下のアイゴールの、スイッチが、扉を開けるスイッチなんですが、実は、完璧に重なっているわけではないので、上の方をかすめるようにいくと、敵を無視してスイッチを踏んで進むことができると。ここの赤いアイゴール2発弓を当てなきゃいけないんですが、これ1回の周期で当てるの難しいんですが、うまく当てましたね。で、東の神殿のボス、デグアモス、矢を3本当てれば倒せます。1体だけ、2発残して、早いですね。3発目を当てた後、残りの1匹になると発狂モードに入って体力が全回復してしまうんですけども、発狂する前に続けて、とどめを刺せば、その発狂に入らずに、全部きれいに片付けることができると。で、1つ目クリア完了。さあ、神トラといえばこのアイテム、ペガサスの靴をもらえます。
Alright, we're gonna pick up the one item that's gonna break a lot of the game open. The boots! Alright, so now that we have a
このアイテムを持っているときに悪いことができます。階段のあるエリアで、失敗した。回転切りできるようにして、BA を、1フレーム、1フレームだっけ、素早くパパッとずらし押しをすることによって高速移動ができるようになります。ペガサスの靴を手に入れたので移動速度が格段にアップしました。これはマイナーグリッチってやつですね。そうです、メジャーじゃないグリッチ。ここも階段があるので使えます。いい話したタイミングで入れ替わりでエオス。ノーメジャーグリッチを一切使わないとは言っていない。ムドラの書は、次のダンジョン、砂漠の神殿に入るために必要なアイテムですね。古代語の、石碑を読むために使います。
Yeah, so like you see how like I have to like charge the boots there to start dashing. Just spin speed just removes that need to do that. Especially if you have like a room where you're
ちなみにこれは日本語の初期版のロムでないとできないです。
Depends. It depends on the room it's in. Okay.
お祈りして、次の第2のダンジョン砂漠の神殿に進めるようになりました。まずは、大きな鍵を取るために、小さな鍵を取りに行きます。そうですね、それで日本版。左上の部屋にあるので、失敗した。 そうですね。本当は食材にぶつからなきゃいけないんですけども、左の壁にぶつかっても取れる、そっちの方が早いんで、左の壁にぶつかって小さな鍵を取りますね。あ、ここは、矢を取ったりもできるんですが、ここは矢を取らない。で、右上の部屋に大きな鍵があるので回収して、左上の部屋に、ここのアイテム、パワーグラブが、あるので、それを回収しに行きます。あ、ここで取るのね。はいはい。鉄球の周期があるので帰り。
Hope you're staying glued to your screen for this excellent run of Link to the Past. But once we're done with
で、岩を持ち上げられるようになりましたので、左下の出口から外に出ます。
the what'll hopefully be the 3-heart challenge for Link's Awakening, head on over to takethis.org, where you can find some freely available stories of hope from people who are managing their mental health, as well as articles on mental health issues in gaming culture.
ちなみにここも、ダッシュバグ使えるんですが、結構落ちやすいので、安定を取りましたね。ダッシュしたまま鍵のついた扉を進むとき、4ピクセルごとでしたっけね。で、離れたとこから、進むと、ダッシュしたまま鍵を開けて進むことができるそうですね。右上に小さな鍵。
Now, any Link to the Past runner will tell you that Landmola is a jerk.
4つの食材に火をつけるとボスへの道ですね。あ、ここが、ノーメジャーグリッチ。じゃあ、RTA ちょっとめんどくさいボス。弓をうまく当てて、うまいかも。こいつに弓を当てるのが難しい。ちょっとでも、きつそう。そう、ちょっとここは難しいんですよね。残り1体になると、4方向だった岩が8方向に飛ぶようになります。ちょっと時間がかかってしまいましたが、まあ、これぐらい重さですね。特に、言ってなかったんですが、ボスを倒した後に落ちてくるペンダント、裏ではクリスタルですね。取るとき、落ちてくるところにちょっと下のところにいると、落下する直前ぐらいで、なんか知らないですけど、取れるんで、そこでちょっとだけ短縮できますね。で、ここ、次は、右上の山に行くんですが、一番早いルートを取るのに悪いことをします。水かきバグというやつですね。まだ水かきを持っていないので、泳ぐことができないんですが、ここを、バグを使って無理やり泳いでいきます。画面が切り替わるギリギリの場所に落ちて、溺れる前に切り替えると、泳げてしまうんですが、この際にダメージを受けてしまうと、ソフトロックがかかってしまうので、ちょっと危険な技です。今回は、特にダメージを受けずに進めたので OK ですね。運が悪いとゾーラにぶつかってしまって大変なことになったりしてしまうんですが、無事安全に行けました。
So we talk about the technical aspects of these games, and the number of situations where you would expect the game to be checking for something and it's not, right? I'm remembering from Ocarina of Time where there's a wall that's only so tall because they weren't expecting you to try to jump, or
おじいさんを、洞窟まで連れて行くと、マジカルミラーというアイテムをもらえます。このアイテムは裏の世界に行ったときに、表の世界に戻ることができるアイテムですね。で、ここもダッシュバグ使って高速移動で、岩を抜けながら、上の方に、裏の世界に行くゲートがあるので入ります。裏の世界に入ると、ウサギの姿になってしまうんですが、マジカルミラーだけは使えるので、マジカルミラーで元の世界に戻りますね。で、3つ目のダンジョン、ヘラの塔です。まず、大きな鍵を取るために、小さな鍵を回収します。小さな鍵を取ったらマジカルミラーに即戻って、今度は、入り口から奥の方にある。失敗した。奥の方にある扉を使って下に行きます。この部屋は、タイルが襲いかかってくるんですが、ここは耐久ですね。RTA、ランカーの人とかだと、ブーメラン持ったままダッシュだったかなで、ブロックを切り替えてタイルが当たらない位置に移動して待ったりするんですが、この辺は遊んでますね。リカビュン。結構難しいんですよね。で、鍵を取ったらマジカルミラーでまた入り口に戻りまして、今度は右の方の階段を登って、ボスの方向に行きます。この階に爆弾が、壺の下にあるので、それを1個回収して、これは、ボムジャンプのために使えます。ボムジャンプどこでやるのかというと、この上の階、大きな宝箱ある場所に来ました。ここでボムジャンプ使えます。穴のギリギリの部分、ギリギリのところに爆弾を置いて、爆弾わざと爆発すると、ダメージのノックバックで、穴を越えることができる。このテクニックを使うと、本当はこの5階のところから、落ちて進まなきゃいけない、進むんですが、無理やり、大きい宝箱のところに行けます。で、ムーンパールを手に入れました。ムーンパールは、裏の世界でもウサギにならずに、活動できるようになるアイテムですね。で、3面、ヘラの塔のボス、エグテールですね。尻尾に剣を当てます。最後の一発になると発狂になるんですが、それまでは比較的安定。最後、当てない。うまい。OK です。最後の発狂を下手すると穴に落ちてしまって、またやり直しになったりとかするんですが、無事に一発でいきましたね。
Cool thing about sword dashing is that it takes cryo for the sword tinking through Moldorm's face, so it doesn't bounce you around.
この最後の発狂状態のデグテールの尻尾に攻撃当てるのは結構難しいんですが、無事にいけました。で、3つペンダントを手に入れたら、マスターソードを引き抜けに行けるので、マスターソードを引きに行きます。マスターソードの場所は、表側のマップ左上、迷いの森の奥にあります。
that give you like rupees, and we're gonna be utilizing these here. To get, we need 110 rupees before Dark World. So we're gonna pull this one, and then
ルピーを回収しているのは、この先に、ルピーが必要になるので、今のうちにお金を稼いでいますね。木を引っ張ってルピーを出しているときに、ノーダメージで敵を倒すと、その次の、ルピーが出る木っていうのがあるんですが、そのポイントで、木を引っ張ると、25ルピーの赤ルピーが4つ出るようになるので、それを回収すると、100ルピーを簡単に手に入れられるっていう技ですね。マスターソード引き抜き。だいたいもう25分ぐらいで引き抜きましたね。これで、表は終盤。ゼルダ姫がさらわれてしまうので、ハイラル城の、天守に向かいます。
The Japanese that I remember from college, yeah, that seems pretty right. Alright, we didn't get a kill here, so we need to come up, kill that guy. That's our fourth kill.
さっき木を引っ張ってルピーを出していたのは、ここでルピーを稼ぐためですね。100ルピー稼ぎました。100ルピーじゃない。20ルピーだっけあれ。20ルピーなんで80ルピーですね。128ルピーになっているので、この、110ルピーは、裏の一つ目のダンジョン、闇の神殿で、使えます。そうですね。このカテゴリー、このゲームは、クラシックゼルダトリロジー、初代ゼルダ、リンクの冒険、神々のトライフォースの3つを、順番にクリアしていくカテゴリーです。ここに入るときにいる敵はマスターソードでないと倒せません。敵を全滅させると宝箱が出てきます。引っかかった。次の部屋、小さな鍵が必要なんですが、左側に宝箱があるので、その中に入っています。
It's the fight of guess how many blue balls Aghanim is going to give us. Every blue ball loses 6.5 seconds. And it's 100% RNG.
Oh, we love those.
左下にいる弓兵が鍵を持っていますね。HP が高いんですけども、弓2発で倒せましたね。ここは真ん中の兵士が鍵を持ってます。うまいですね。ブーメランを使って一瞬で飛びましたね。これであとは、一番上に行くだけですね。ここは、神トラ唯一と言っていいほどの運ゲーゾーン、アグニム戦ですね。運が悪いと、ここで何秒かロスしてしまいます。アグニムというボスは、一発目と、4発目だったかな。3発撃った後に4発だっけ忘れちゃった。雷を撃つ周期と、 何発か撃つと雷を撃ってきて、それ以外は赤い弾と青い弾っていうのを 50% の確率で撃ってくるんですね。一番最初は赤い弾確定なんですけども、2発目以降は、50%、50% で青い弾が出てきます。青い弾が出てしまう。これが、ブルーボールというやつですね。スピードランド、2回目そうですね。魔法弾固定、ランダム4発、雷1発。やっちゃー。これは運が悪いです。運がいいと、赤玉だけ倒せます。青玉3発目。運が悪いですね。ちなみに上位の人はだいたいまあ1、2発ですね。青弾は1、2発ぐらいまでは許されます。2回目の雷、これはだいぶ遅延入っています。OK。3回ですか。まあ、普通ですね。2回だったらかなり運がいい方。
So we probably got about maybe a little north of an hour before our Zelda Link's Awakening run. Still looking for a few more donations to get us through to that 3-heart challenge. Would love to see that hit, but you know, if you've got your eyes set on some other things, remember that the Glitch the Abyss for Ultima 4.
そうですね。3回だと2回目の雷が出てしまうので、もうそれだけで10秒ぐらいロスですね。
That bid war is wide open and ripe for the sniping, so feel free to send some donations that way, and maybe you'll have your preference of name.
First of all,
闇の神殿も、グリッチがありますので、そこは見どころですね。この青いお猿さんに110ルピーあげると、入り口を開けてくれます。
19 and a half.
Okay. Yeah, something like that.
このためにさっき迷いの森でルピを集めてたんですね。闇の神殿ですが、まず鍵を回収しに左側の下の階に行きます。鍵を取ったら戻って。
So the world record route doesn't actually drop like down here like immediately like I'm about to do because I don't know how to hover.
鍵を回収したら戻って、次は大きな鍵を取りに行きます。
Not lose health from dropping down a floor? Is that just if you fall into like a black abyss?
So in the Japanese version, if you
大きな鍵は、左側のひびの入っている床に爆弾で穴を開けて入るといけます。さあ、ここからまた鍵を集めたりしなきゃいけないんですが、この先、悪いことをして、大きな宝箱を開けに行きます。
actually have to be careful like with that in Skull Woods because
次にあるのもマイナーグリッチ、ボムジャンプですね。
Before it actually like changes scenes, the wall master will grab you.
本当はスイッチ切り替えなきゃいけないんですが、切り替えなくてよかった。違います。
Alright, so we're going to be doing something called the bomb jump here.
ここですね。縦軸をうまく合わせて。爆弾を置いて、さらにもう一回ピクセルパーフェクトをすることによって、左側に吹っ飛ばされます。で、左側に吹っ飛ばされたときに上を押しっぱにすると、こうやって 抜けられるんですね。一発で成功ですね。これは、要練習です。鍵を取ったら、もうボスに行きますね。次です。右側に行きます。で、右側から行くと、ブロックが上がっていて進めないんですが、この宝箱と壁の間をうまく弓で打つと、左側のスイッチに当てることができます。
Alright, you know what? Maybe the crowd's not a big fan of dad jokes. You know, what would you name your speedrun trick if you had one named after you?
It depends on what the speedrun trick is.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair, that's fair.
走ってるとこの赤コッピーの処理も非常にスムーズですね。
Yeah, it just really depends on what the speed trick is.
There's so much context, right? Like,
Yeah. Like there's a trick that we do in
この先、亀の敵がいるんですが、ハンマーで一回ひっくり返して、倒すという倒し方をするんですが、これが結構くせ者でして、これを素早く倒すのも RTA では重要となってきます。はい、かなり早い処理をできましたね。で、ボス前の部屋ですが、2回ハンマーでひっくり返してダッシュで進みます。ここのボスは、剣を持ったまま、上に向けて剣を、溜めたまま振るとちょっとだけリーチが伸びるので、最初はそれで使って削っていましたね。あの仮面は、ハンマーか爆弾で、開けることができます。あとは、ハンマーの攻撃力っていうのが、マスターソードレベル3と同じ攻撃力なので強いんですけども、結構当てづらいんですが、うまく当てましたね。
You have 4 hits of damage on that boss. If you take 4 hits of damage, I have to go through the entirety of the.
そうですね。攻撃力が高い代わりにリーチとちょっと機動力に難がありますね。当たり判定がいまいちよくわからない。結構向きに、リンクの向きに左右される武器ですね。これで、次に行くダンジョン、特に、決まってなくて、まあ、番号順に行くならば水の祠なんですけど、南にある水の祠というダンジョンなんですけども、おそらく、次は村だと思いますね。さらっとやっていますが、ハンマーを持ちながら、ハンマーとダッシュボタン同乗しで、やると、ハンマーを持ったままダッシュができて、アイテムダッシュっていうんですけども、ああいった、杭が並んでいるところも、ダッシュしながら開けることができます。このキツネ話しかけると、シャベルを、スコップって言いそうになった。シャベルをもらうんですが、元の世界に戻って、今掘った場所、ここにオカリナが埋まっています。このオカリナは何かというと、かかりこ村、左側にあるかかりこ村という村の風緑に吹くと、 鳥が復活して、ファーストトラベルができるようになります。
Alright, as per tradition, folks, if you have salute emotes, or just an 07 will work too. We're about to play the national anthem of Link to the Past. So please, if you'd like to, like, you don't have to rise, but please salute.
It's 敬礼している。
It's an honor to serve.
で、すぐ使うわけではなく、この上側に、裏の世界に行く扉があるので、そこに行きます。
Alright, we are heading into Thieves Town, or aka Steve's Town. I don't know why it's called Steve's Town, but sure.
Who's Steve?
Oh.
すると、
Steve still
One
out
thing I
of the
didn't. Oh, go ahead.
No, you
下側に、
I was gonna
村
say,
があり
one
ま
thing
す。
I didn't really go over is,
この村は、真ん中の、風緑があったところにダンジョンの入り口があります。ここは、ペリスタイルに番号があるんですが、4番目のダンジョン、ブラインドの隠れ家ですね。
Is that the Y coordinate or the X coordinate?
Y in a 2D plane.
左下の部屋の右下の部分に大きな鍵があるので、それを回収しに行っています。
Where you can do something called a quick warp. And each quick warp that you land on the run saves 32 frames.
大きな鍵を回収したら、右上に、大きな鍵で開く扉があるので、そこに行きますね。
The warp above the Thieves Town here. And that was to set Link up on the proper pixel. To do a quick warp. Now the quick warp, what it does is it actually ends the warp like little like screen wiggle faster than it normally should, which is why it saves 32 frames.
Do we know why that is?
で、ボスを、右上の、部屋が、ボスの部屋なんですが、今の状態だと誰もいないので、ボスを出しに行きます。
That gets real technical, but at the end of the day, you save half a second, right?
ボスを出す条件というのが上の階に行って、
And we try to do that as much as we can because there's
床に穴を開けて日光を出した状態にするのと、地下にいる、女の子がいるんですが、それを、ボスの部屋に連れて行くのが条件になりますね。
well, there's no like visual indicator on where it works. You just have to kind of like know the out. You just have to know
ちょっと虫さんが邪魔をしていました。意外と硬くて攻撃力が高いので厄介ですね。
In the practice hack that we have for this game, there's actually just a. If you look at the top right of the HUD, it'll say QW, and whenever it's lit up, that means you're on a quick warp coordinate. If not, you'll get the full little.
ちなみに、女の子を連れたまま、じゃあ入り口に帰りましょうねって入り口に戻ろうとするといつの間にかいなくなっていて、また地下牢に閉じ込められているという不思議なことが起こります。一体どうしてなんでしょうね。で、小さな鍵は、この左の部屋に、大きな宝箱がある部屋が、あるので、そこに行くために取っています。パワフルグラブ、重い石、黒く縁取られた石があるんですが、それを、持ち上げることができるようになります。
Practice hacks are such a big thing for speedrunning. Unless you're silly like me and you go learn a Switch game that doesn't have a practice hack. Alright, so this is blind. As long as we follow and hit blind at the same spot.
で、ブラインド、女の子を連れて行くと、実はこいつがボスで、ボス戦のブラインド戦です。適当な何か攻撃できるアイテムで9回ダメージを与える必要があります。 火の玉も分かれていて、火の玉食らうと、ハート1個分のダメージを受けてしまうので、失敗するときついんですが、まああっと、やられてしまった。残念。ちょっと火の玉の猛攻を受けてしまいましたね。上手い人だとまあ、ノーダメージでも切り抜けられたりするんですが、ちょっと攻めすぎちゃいましたかね。そうですね。瓶を取らない。この、まあ、走りだと瓶取らないので、要請はないですね。まあ、確かに火の玉巻かれるの結構避けづらいんですが、で、初回だと、やや上からちょっと離れたところにあるので、上が、避けやすい場所になったりするんですが、2回目だと上に張り付かれてしまうので、ちょっと避けづらくなりますね。そう、パターンがちょっと難しくなる。
I don't even know what caused it because I hit blind in the same spot every time. Might have been a pixel too high from the sword charge there. It's all good though.
ですが、まあ2回目は無事に、ブラインド撃破できましたね。
Yeah. Okay,
で、ここで手に入ったパワフルグラブっていうのは、持っていると、この村の下に、カエルがいまして、ここの、扉を開けたのは300ルピーを手に入れるためです。ここの宝箱は300ルピー入っています。水かきを手に入れるのに600ルピー手に入れなきゃいけないんですが、この村の中だけで600ルピー稼げます。
Yeah, so if we don't make it, just know that that maiden is
このカエルは何者かというと、かかりこ村の右にある、鍛冶屋があるんですが、そこの、鍛冶屋、双子なんですけれども、片方がいなくなっていて探してくれって言われていたんですが、裏の世界に閉じ込められていました。で、この鍛冶屋を助けると、マスターソードを強化してくれます。一回出て入り直すと、ルピーを鍛えてくれるので、一回剣を預けて、鍛えてもらうには一回マップを出なきゃいけないので、左に行ってからまた戻ると、剣がレベル3になっています。最速だともうこのレベル3のマスターソードでラスボスまで行くことになります。安定を取るならばレベル4も取りに行きます。で、右上の家に、また300ルピーの宝箱あるので、これ回収して、600ルピー手に入りましたね。これで、水かきが買えるようになります。で、次に行くのは、左上、表だと迷いの森だった、場所、ドクロの森ですね。まずは、ここはもう、森自体がダンジョンになっています。で、まずは、大きな鍵を取るために、真ん中、3つ扉があるんですが、真ん中の入り口から入って、大きな鍵を取りますね。大きな鍵入手したので、今度は右側から
wall mastering?
右側の入り口に行きます。
Because it was me. I was that kid.
で、本当は遠回りをしたりするんですけれども、ここで、ちょっと悪いこと、ボムジャンプを使って無理やり行きます。本当ならば、上の部屋から、壁を壊して進むんですが、このようにして、ボムジャンプを使うことで、その下りを短縮することができます。
Excuse me.
ファイヤーロッドを手に入れたら、左の出口に、真ん中の入り口から、左に行きます。
Fill my health. Sorry. Your link is in another castle.
で、出る前に左上の壺を開けると鍵が入っているので、それ回収して行きます。
Yeah, I think so. Was that Battletoads or something?
I thought that was Double Dragon.
Might have
フ
been.
ァイヤーロッドで、左上にある入り口に当てると、
I don't know.
そうですね、ボスへの入り口が開きます。
It was some game. I don't remember. Wasn't even close.
で、スイッチを切り替えていったりするんですが、斜め移動することによって、ちょっとだけ短縮ができます。MP 足りるかな？足りましたね。
Alright, we're gonna beat this Gibdo against the spike block here.
このミイラの敵が、鍵を持っているので、そいつから回収しましたと。さあ、3面、ここは、3つ目のクリスタル、ボスのガモース戦です。ガモースは、攻撃するときに気をつけなきゃいけなくって、吹っ飛ばした先にトゲがあるとダメージを無効化されてしまうので、うまく、トゲにぶつからないように当てる必要がありますが、素早く倒しましたね。これは結構早いです。
The golden sword just does no damage to Mothula, or they just forgot to add a damage value to it.
There's no way that ever comes up in playtesting, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that was funny to find out. It's fixed in rando, of course, but also Mothula takes 0 damage if you hit him and he flies into spikes. Mothula takes 0 damage there as well. Alright, we're gonna set up a little thing.
この後は、めちゃくちゃオカリナ吹いてますね。
Alright, so we're gonna walk a little bit down here before the bird flies off the screen. And what that does is that actually confuses the game a little bit.
おそらくシェイクの回収と水かきの回収ですかね。
Wrong button. It actually offsets where your fire rod, like fire hits. And it allows you to kind of like when you enter Ice Palace, it allows you to kind of like splash.
7番目と8番目のダンジョンを開けるのに、魔法を手に入れる必要があるんですが、シェイクっていう地震を起こす魔法と、エーテルという氷の魔法を、行く前に手に入れておく必要があります。で、今、そのうちの一つの、シェイクの魔法を取りに行っていますね。で、このエリアに入ると、真ん中岩に囲まれた池があるので、そこにアイテムを、物を投げ込むと、ナマズが現れて、シェイクの魔法をくれます。ボンバーはね、ちょっと RTA では使わないので手に入れないですね。残念ながら。で、こっから元に戻ると、ちょうど目の前に、水かきを打ってくれるゾーラの場所があるので、そこに行って、500ルピーで水かきを買います。
Dragon Lord Carter in chat mentions in that spike room, fighting Helmasaur King.
Yeah, Helmasaur's pretty bad to fight in Mothula's room. I really love it in Rando if you do like boss Rando. When you
そうで
get
すね。ボンバー君だけ仮になってないのが悪い。
then you're just like, remember me, pal? Because Mothula just has nothing to like protect itself with spikes.
渦巻きを利用しろと、ゾーラが言っていたんですが、
You're trapped in here like me.
出るとすぐそこに渦巻き
Yeah, basically.
入ると、入りやこ真ん中の真ん中ら辺でできます。ここの岩を持ち上げると、5番目のダンジョン、氷の塔ですね。氷の塔の入り口に入れるので、ここに行きます。結構長いダンジョンなんですが、ここも、悪いことをすることによって、比較的、短い時間で攻略することができるダンジョンです。
Alright, this is probably one of the scariest bosses in the entire run. Because if things go bad, Cold Stare is a jerk.
このダンジョン、本来ならば、大きな鍵を手に入れて、進まなければいけないんですが、悪いことをすることによって、大きな鍵を使わずに、このダンジョンを攻略することができます。なので、ここも、大きな宝箱でアイテムがあるんですが、ここのアイテムは、青いフックという、ダメージを軽減するためのアイテムなんで、RTA では、安定を取る以外は、まず取らないアイテムです。で、ここスイッチを切り替えていないんですが、爆弾をうまく設置することによって、スキップすることができまして、このボムジャンプを使うと、ボスに直行することができるようになります。ここでスイッチを切り替えずに進めるとどうなるかというと、本来、ここが、大きな鍵を使う扉の場所なんですが、このすぐ下が、ボスのエリアです。本来は、今の右の部屋でスイッチを切り替えて、進むのが、本当のルートなんですけども、それを全部短縮できるという感じですね。で、ボス戦です。シュワイズですね。ファイヤーロッドを8回当てて、第2形態に移します。で、氷が第2形態に入ると、3体に分散して攻撃してくるんですが、分散する前に3体をまとめて、回転切りで、攻撃して、分かれる前にもう3体まとめて倒しちゃいましたね。そうですね、ソマリアのルートもあるんですが、そのルートを使う場合は、沼を、左下にある悪魔の沼を攻略しておかないといけないので、ちょっと手間ですね。
Chat, I believe in you. Just like the 3 heart challenge believes in you. And it's RBO, reverse boss order. You definitely don't want to miss that run. I won't spoil like how it does it, but trust me when I say that it's really cool.
で、次が、エーテル取って水の祠かな。そうですね、ボムジャンプ使うだけのテクニックなんですけども、そうですね、これもグリッチです。 さあ、山に来たということは、2つ目の魔法ですね。氷の魔法のエーテルを取りに来ました。エーテルはどこにあるかというと、この表の3つ目のダンジョン、ヘラの塔の左上にあります。
Zelda games with 3 hearts, or I guess is the case maybe with a minimum number of hearts, starting number of hearts.
You could do it in this game, you could do it in Link to the Past.
エーテルの魔法は、6つ目のダンジョン、悪魔の沼行くときに取ってもいいんですが、この魔法じゃねえ、6つ目のダンジョンっていうのは、できるだけ HP が、満タンの状態で行きたいので、安定をとって、という感じですかね。で、次。なんで右下に来たのかというと、アイスロッドというアイテムを取るためですね。あれ次あれかな沼かなまあ沼か水の祠かはどっちかなんですけど。
Picking up the heart container, you have to overload the sprite count in order to despawn the heart container pickup.
You have me curious. How do you do that normally?
6番だったら水の祠。
Eastern Palace, it's like fire like 4 arrows, and then like on the like right as you're firing, or like 5 arrows, and like right as you're firing like the 5th arrow.
裏だと2番目のダンジョンですね。
Lamp twice, and then walk into the heart container, and it'll give you the sound of it picking up the heart container.
ここを抜けるためには、表の世界で、水門をこの同じ位置に水門があるので、水門を開けて、入らないと、戻って入らないと、進めないようになっています。今ブロックを押したときになんか消えてしまったんですけども、ブロックを押している最中に、マジカルミラーを使うと、ブロックが消えるというグリッチですね。
Most of them now, like once, because like now, like early, you have to get like the Cane of Samaria super early. So you can use cane dashing and stuff like that to do it. There's different methods for every heart container.
水門を開けるとこのように、普通に行くと、水がない状態なんですけども、水門を開けると水が溜まっていて進めるようになっています。2つ目、水の祠ですが、主にやることは、大きな鍵を手に入れて、アイテムを手に入れてボスを倒すという、まあそれだけなんですけれども、まず、左側、一番左のところから、大きな鍵を取りに行きます。
If you're not a big fan, you want to name Benjamin something else, $5.01 will get you started toward a new leader.
そうですね、神虎の水ダンジョンはそれほど難しくはないですね。
Heck yeah, thank y'all for the donations, I appreciate it.
Ow. 水のダンジョン特有の、水位の切り替えがそれほど出てこないので。ここも水位を上げないと進めないので、鍵を回収してから水位を上げますね。そうです、ソマリアの強を持ってると、ちょっと悪いことできるんですね、ここは。で、切り替えていないと、大きな鍵の道が塞がっていますので、必ず青を上げないといけません。
All the rando homies hate left side swamp. So shout outs to left side swamp for being the most hated thing in the rando.
上の階に来たら、右上に落ちれば、大きな鍵の場所ですね。 ハンマーを持ってアイテムダッシュすると
Pick up a big key here.
ちょっとスムーズになります。
We're gonna be picking up one of the most useful items in the run, hook shot. Always check left side swamp? Absolutely not. God, a French vanilla hook shot. That sounds awful.
フックショットを入手。フックショット打った先にアイテムがあると、このように、アイテムのところまで引き寄せてくれます。
Lots of speed tech that is allowed in rando isn't actually allowed on this run. So like we can't diver down. We can't icebreaker. That's not allowed in this category. Hovering is allowed, but like only like a small amount of people can do it. I am not included in that small amount of people.
あとはボスに進むだけですね。
And I blame old age.
Refresh our memory. The tech for hovering was what now? Was dashing every fourth frame or something like that?
You have to like trigger like the little dash, like the little boots, like smoke kicking up there, like whenever Link like starts to dash. You have to like trigger that every other frame.
右側に鍵があるので、回収して、ボスのところへ。
Almost precisely.
Something like that, yeah. Spooky is allowed, yes.
ちなみにこのダンジョンは大きな鍵の扉がないダンジョンとなっております。珍しいです。さあ、ワート戦ですね。岩に囲まれているので、フックショットで引き寄せて、一つずつ破壊して、全部破壊すると第2形態に移行します。ここで剣がレベル3だと、素早く倒せます。で落ちてきたら、回転ギーとファイアロッドをうまく当てると、一発の周期で倒せたりするんですが、3回ぐらい。まあ、それでもそんなに時間はかからないですね。岩らしいです。うまくはめられると、一回も飛ばずに倒せたはずです。
Alright, so this is the longest cutscene in the entire game. This crystal cutscene takes exactly
肉団子派がいる。
seconds from the moment Link picks up
そう、
the
僕も
crystal
最初雲だと
to
思っ
this
てたん
maiden,
ですよね。
stopping her, her talking. I think the second one is Palace of Darkness at 49 or 51 seconds or something like that. It's every
さ
single
て、
one.
7つ集めなきゃいけないクリスタルも残り2つです。残りは左下にある悪魔の沼という場所と右上にある亀岩という場所ですね。
$140 donation from Possum toward that 3-heart challenge. Really, really incredibly thank you for your
オカリナを使って、左下のところに行きます。で、ここでちょっとした技を使いますね、おそらく。降りたら、下を通って入ります。なぜここで下に行くかというと、今飛んでいった鳥の高さがなぜか悪いことに使えてしまうという。どういうことなんでしょうか。悪いことをするときは必ず鳥から降りたときに、一マス下に行ってから下から、岩を持ち上げて入るという動作をしますね。これで何が起こるかというと、ファイアロッドを撃ったときに、壁にぶつかると炎がボッて出てくるんですけれども、なぜかこれの、炎の判定っていうのが、飛んでいった鳥の高さの分だけ上にずれるというバグがあります。で、これを使うことによってこのダンジョンちょっとだけ短縮ができます。 これを、この技を、使うときに注意しなければいけないのは、とある、アイテム、ソマリアン杖などですね、使ってしまうと、それが解除されてしまいます。魔法の粉とかもかな。その辺のアイテムを使ってしまうと解除されてしまうので、注意が必要です。使うときは、使うときが1回あるんですけれども、そのときには、説明しますね。で、ブロックを押しているときっていうのは、当たり判定がないので、ファイアロッドを押している途中でファイアロッドを振ると、ブロックを貫通して食材に火をつけることができるんですが、それを使うことによって素早く、食材4つに火をつけることができますね。で、ここから落ちると、大きな鍵がある宝箱があります。で、そしたら、ソマリアの杖を手に入れて、ボスのエリアに行くんですが、行きますね。ソマリアンツェン宝箱は右側にあります。
We are at 207 out of 250, so that puts us $43 short.
ここですね。はい、ソマリアン杖手に入れました。ブロックを出すことができます。で、スイッチを、ブロックの上に置くことで、スイッチを押すことができるというアイテムですね。ここで、下に降りるんですけれども、この先のエリアで1回ソマリアン杖を使うことになります。で、ソマリアン杖を使ってしまうと、そのファイアロッドの、上にずれるバグが解除されてしまうので、どうするのかというと、別のスプライトを出せばいいので、走るときに出てくる埃を出しながら、ソマリアの杖を振れば、解除されずに、ソマリアのブロックを出すことができるので、今、ちょっとだけ走りました。今、そうですね。なぜか、壁にぶつけたはずなのに、上にブロック切り替えるやつがあって、勝手に切り替わりましたね。これ何が起こってるのかっていうと、この真上に、このスイッチを切り替えるブロックがあるんですけども、それに当たってるってことです。そう。これのために今、そうですね、鳥から降りるときに変な行動をしたんですね。で、ここのボス、目玉を片付けて第2形態やるんですが、結構難しくって失敗すると結構死んじゃったりするんですけども、うまく抜けましたね。
Yeah, Spooky is really cool. Okay, so we already have Quake, we already have the Ice Rod, so we can just...
これで6つ目のクリスタル手に入れました。で、残りが最後のクリスタル、右上のカメリアに向かうことになりますね。
$47 away, chat. I think we can make it. I'm pretty sure we can make it. We still have about 20 or so minutes left in this run.
Hey, let's make it 25 because we have
25. Oh, heck yeah.
そうですね。緑の服なので、ダメージが痛いですね。特に今の目玉のボス、なんか攻撃力がかなり高くって、一発食らっただけでハート4つぐらいだったかな、減ってしまうので、あまり被弾したくないんですけれども。この辺はそうですね、青い服前提の攻撃力になっています。オカリナで、山に向かって、右上のところに一番近いルートで
they turn into stone when you hit them. And
向かいます。
they just get in your way.
Is there any way to just defeat them completely, or do they
Nope.
just turn to stone?
Nope. You cannot destroy them. Oh, hi, Leggy.
この右のところ、ここの裏が亀岩の入り口になっていますが、亀岩の入り口、シ
Yes.
ェイクの魔法で、開けなきゃいけないところがありまして、そこの場所に行くためには、ここでハンマーを、右から順番に押すことによって、入り口を出すことができます。で、ここでシェイクの魔法を使うと入り口が開きますね。最後のダンジョンと言いますか、最後のクリスタルのダンジョンですね。亀岩です。ソマリアの杖を使って進むダンジョンですね。最後の、ダンジョンのだけあってかなり複雑なんですが。
It's actually not the knights that died in Eastern Palace, it's the knights that die, the ice armors. It depends on
主な目的は、大きな鍵を取って、ボスに行くだけです。この、食台に火を灯すエリア、4つの、食台に火を灯した後、上の部屋に入らなきゃいけないんですが、普通に行くと時間がなくて落ちてしまうんですが、フックショットで、食台に引っ掛けてわざと落ちることによって、戻る時間を短縮して進むことができます。今、フックショットで避けましたが、フックショットを打ってる間っていうのは完全に無敵なので、こうやってうまいこと避けることができます。僕も暇な時に結構フックショットでの無敵時間使って遊んだりしますね。
Oh, we didn't want the ferry that early. So I knew that ferry was gonna be in this this dungeon at some point. Just because, so you remember that that one night that I dashed through in Aghanim's tower? For some reason,
地下1階に来たら大きな鍵を回収しに行きます。
It sets up a ferry drop on the Pokies in this dungeon in particular. Because when you dash through an enemy, it actually does not trigger the drop that the enemy gives you. It actually stores it for a later value. So those two knights in particular that we dash through store a ferry drop for this dungeon.
で、この団子みたいな敵を倒すと鍵をもらえるので、鍵を開けた、この先に大きな鍵がありますね。ギミックの待ち時間、フックショットで遊んでたら穴に落ちてギミックやり直しになったことがあるある。大きな鍵を手に入れたら、右に行きます。ここも大きな宝箱があるんですが、ここの宝は、鏡の盾、レベル1の盾の時は確か、あれどうなるんだっけな。レベル1でも鏡の盾だったかな。ミラーシールド忘れちゃった。たまに飛び級になったり飛び級にならなかったりするので。あ、飛び級になりますか。あ、失敗した。ここは下押しっぱですね。ちょっとファイヤーバーの周期がずれてしまいましたが、ご利用しで進めます。で、次のエリアですが、ソマリアの杖を持ってアイテムダッシュをすると、これは安定かな？違うわ、鍵だ。鍵の回収ですね。すみません。 鍵の回収忘れてました。次の部屋ですね。ソマリアの杖を持ってアイテムダッシュすると、うまく、うまくいくと、ここ、パッと、ダッシュするだけでスムーズに進めるんですが、ちょっと失敗しちゃいましたね。ここ成功するとかっこいいです。さあ、ボス戦、デグロックですね。ここも結構難しいボスなんですが、かなり早い感じで倒せていますね。いって攻撃力が高いので、できるだけ攻撃を受けたくないボスです。で、頭2つ倒した後に、3体目が出てくるんですが、出てきた瞬間、なぜか全身が、当たり判定になっているので、そこに、回転切りをうまく当てて、素早く倒しましたね。本当は、出て、ちょっとしてからじゃないとダメージ判定ないんですけれども、なぜか出た瞬間はダメージ判定あるんですね。さあ、これで、クリスタル全部、7つ全部集まりました。ここの、クリスタルがゼルダ姫です。
That's usually how it goes, right? When you collect Zelda and you save her?
さあ、クラシックゼルダトリロジーもついに大詰め。残るは、ガノンの塔とラスボスガノン戦だけですね。ガノンの塔はどこにあるかというと、この亀岩からもすぐ左のところにあります。今、フックショットで何をしたのかというと、フックショットでアイテムダッシュをすると、回転切りしてアイテムダッシュしたのと同じような能力を得ることができます。7つクリスタルを持っていると、ここのガノンの塔の入り口が開きますね。ただ、ここでやることは何かというと、大きな鍵を手に入れて、上に行くだけです。ここはブーメランを使ってうまく進みます。あ、失敗した。うまくいくと、今のブーメランを投げてフックショットで切り替えて進めます。青いブロックに重なるようにブロックを切り替えると、アイテムに、ブロックに引っかかって、リンクが無敵時間を得るので、それを使って今、トゲトゲをすり抜けましたね。
We take this right one because you can just hook shot the wall down. It's a little bit of small speed tech there.
で、次のエリア。床を踏んでしまうと、ちょっとだけ5秒ほどのロスがあるんですけども、うまく、ダッシュで壁にぶつかって飛び越えることで回避しました。見えない床があるエリアなんですが、その壺のところから、左にダッシュ使って吹っ飛ばされることで、すべて無視することができます。はい。で、降りると、あれですね、再生ボスというか、ボスラッシュです。普通に、神トラをやっていると、この時点で、銀の矢を手に入れているんですが、銀の矢を手に入れてないので、通常通り3発当てて倒しています。ボスの鍵を手に入れたので、ボスに向かいます。 ちなみに、リンの矢がないとガノンが倒せないんですが、リンの矢にしていないですね。どういうことでしょうかね。
We're gonna sword buffer these.
ここの、からボスまでは雑魚敵をうまく処理するのが重要になってきます。弓使いうまいですね。
I'm close. Oh no. I didn't register my dash.
ちょっときつい。
A little too fast on the dash there. There's a little safety room down there at the bottom that has two
ただ
fairies.
雑魚敵を、うまく全滅させないといけないエリアで
If
す。
you ever, I'm actually gonna pick this up. If you ever get there and you need some health, there's a big safety room there.
壺や矢などを駆使してうまく抜けていきます。
Burn on that.
10 or 15.
Better than a dead run for sure.
青いやつが逃げてしまった。弓でうまくリカバリーしましたね。ここはダッシュすると、赤いやつ2体割と綺麗に倒せます。この氷のエリアは左に1つずれたところで弓とか打っておくと、骸骨に当てられるので、楽ですね。で、ここの、ボスは、ファイヤーロッドかアイスロッド2発で倒せますんで、回転蹴りとうまく併用して倒していますね。次のエリア、ソマリアを持っていますが、ソマリアの杖を持っていると、比較的楽に倒すことができます。階段上がったらすぐ、敵の真ん中のところにソマリアの杖を置けば一発で全部倒せますね。で、次のエリア、ここを抜けた先にもまた同じ敵がいるので、1体倒して残りの3体はソマリアで蹴散らしますね。次のエリアもファイヤーロッドじゃねカンテラを使って進むんですが、ここを、抜けるのもちょっとめんどくさい。3つ火つけて最後の1つをファイヤーロッドで着火する。スムーズですね。ここ右上に、MP 満タンになる壺があるので、それで MP マックスにしてから、上のエリアは、右下、左下、左上、右上とやっていくと、簡単にできますね。次、爆弾うまく投げて、真ん中の宝箱に鍵があります。ウサギになっちゃった。遅延です。さあ、上手い人だとこの先、ダッシュホバーというダッシュを使った空中浮遊をするんですが、あれは超上級者の技なので普通に倒しますね。上手い人はここ、ボスを倒さずに、ダッシュで、空中浮遊して抜けます。ここは氷滑ってめんどくさいんですが、真ん中のところを、ダッシュで進めば滑らずに進めますね。さあ、2回目のアグニウム戦です。アグニウム3体に分裂して魔法を打ってくるんですが、1回目よりも比較的、弱いです。うまく軸を合わせて、魔法を当てられると結構早く倒せるんですが、ちょっと位置が悪いかな。ここ最高ですね。ひたすら左に向かって打ちまくるだけ。今の当たってたらな。そうですね、分身が打ってくる球は必ず赤玉なので赤玉跳ね返しまくってれば倒せます。で、倒すとラスボスガノンが出現します。
differential equation.
さあ、ガノンを倒すためには、銀の矢が必要なんですが、持っていません。で、どうするのかというと、この日本語版の初期ロムというのは、ガノンを倒すのにも、グリッチというものがありまして、それを使って倒すことになります。
We don't need it. We're gonna do 12 hits here. Hold on.
まずは、その
So what Ganon just
携
said,
帯まで
thank you
普
very
通
much
に
for your
攻撃します。
generosity. I appreciate it so much. I'm gonna let iceblue win without silver arrows.
ダッシュを使ってうまくダメージを削っていますね。これ次で最終形態までいくかな。あ、なりましたね。最終形態になりました。ここまでは普通にダメージを与えることができます。で、4回、この状態からダメージを与えると最終形態になって、その状態の、ガノンは、銀の矢でないと倒せないんですが、ここで、ガノングリッチですね。ガノンが魔法を打ってワープする直前、ここをなぜか、HP が減るダメージを受けます。これを繰り返せば倒せます。で、食材が2つ消えて、ガノンが、火ついてる間じゃないとガノンにダメージを与えられないんですが、左、右と消える前に左側を右の食材が消える前に左の食材に火をつけると片方しか消えないというバグがあるので、それを使って、ちょっと、攻略を楽にしています。うまくワープする前に当てていますね。ここそんなに猶予ないんですが、一見難しいように見えますが、回転切りが結構持続が長いため、回転切りを置くようにして当てると結構当てやすいです。グッドゲームです。これで上の部屋に入ったらタイマーストップです。はい、グッドゲーム。いやー、比較的安定した走りでしたね。
I think I really had a great time regardless, and I know chat did. I'm seeing them popping off.
That was that run went a lot better than I thought it was gonna go. Like I'm
まあこれで締めだと思いますが、
especially like with how that
神々のゼルダの伝説神々のトライフォース、実はこのスピードランラグナロック、もう一回あります。で、その神トラは何をやるのかというと、皆さんは大好きなランダマイザーです。
You can always pick up Zelda speedruns. It just seems like it's a great time.
Play Zelda 2. Like my shirt says, play Zelda 2.
ちなみに、通常のランダマイザーとはまた違って、カテゴリーがクロスキーという、まあ普通のランダマイザーにさらに難易度を上げたようなやつがありますね。まあ簡単に言えば何が起こるかというと、ダンジョン内のアイテムがぐちゃぐちゃになって、入り口、すべての洞窟や建物の入り口の、中身が全部ぐちゃぐちゃになるというとんでもない、ランダマイザーなんですけど。というのがですね、あさって19日の夜中午前2時頃行われますので、積まないようになっているので大丈夫です。それでも積まないという、お楽しみに。ちなみに解説は、私が頑張って解説させていただきます。よろしくお願いします。
Sub 30 Zelda 1, sub 80 Zelda 2, sub 90 Zelda 3. I forget, I think JSR was number 1. There's like I think like 8 or 9 of us right now.
グリッチは、ほぼこの、ノーメジャーグリッチと同じルールです。セーブリセットだけ OK です。
I set a goal for a game myself personally, and I push for that. And when I'm done with that goal, I'll either move on to a new
そうですね。ランダマイザーだと大体グリッチの説明書かれていないですが、基本的にはこの、今走っていた、神トラの同じノーメジャーグリッチで走ることになっています。
Yeah, absolutely. But big shout outs to all 3 of the Zelda communities for these games. Just there's a lot of resources to learning each one of these games. Each one of the discords has a long list of guides for starting out, for getting the runs going, and then just combining them into a 3, like a triple run, is a lot of fun.
もちろん、そうですね。この神トラでやった、数々のグリッチ、いろんな形で悪用されると思いますので、その辺も見どころですね。アイテムダッシュとか水かきバグとか使い放題。
Which is, and I promise you, it's not what it stands for. I will be running BS Legend of Zelda.
Oh, that's such a good run.
ちなみにバグ使わなくても積まないようになっているので。
I believe. And I'm excited to showcase that because that is such a little, like, it's a cute little title.
バグなしでも問題なくクリアできる楽しいゲームとなっております。
With Super Mario RPG remake. So if you enjoy Super Mario RPG as much as I do, you don't want to miss that either.
Absolutely not. And the remake is so beautiful. It's worth seeing.
It did the game justice. It's my favorite game of all time, and that remake was chef's kiss. But I'm gonna hand it over to you. Thank y'all for hanging out. If you want to come watch me right now, my
そうですね。ノーロジックが一番無法。
right now is Echoes of Wisdom. So if you don't want to be spoiled, please don't spoil yourself. Finish the game, it's amazing. But I am running the glitches category a lot. So that's gonna be like
バグ技を駆使しないとできないやつですね。
Check me out. We'd love to have you.
さすがにそれはあんまり
I will see y'all again on
こうい
Friday
ったのでは出てこないかなという。
for BS Legend of Zelda. Thanks for having me. Bye.
It's been a pleasure, iceblue. Appreciate you, chat. You've been incredibly generous. We're looking forward to that.
というわけでクラシックゼルダトリロジーでした。
Don't go away.
では、次のゲーム準備いたしますのでお待ちください。失礼いたします。